Good evening, everyone. Welcome to round 2 of 8 of the Octane Online Racing Simrigs.com Sprint Series, split blue and split red this evening. Looking forward to an absolute ripping race. I am Sean Muller, and joined me in the box, one of our new commentators, the one and only Jaden Montanella. Top of the evening, sir.
How are we doing on this
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, it is quite chilly here in Melbourne town, but I believe it's the total opposite at this Barcelona circuit.
Yeah, high temps for the whole of the Sprint Series where I believe it's 44 degrees, which is incredibly hot. So people will be looking out there to save their tyres. We'll be looking at different strategies as well, as there is only a mandatory stop. So we'll be seeing
Yeah, it should be very interesting. We saw last night quite a few drivers did run that long strategy. So they did go long, and then most people kept their tyres, ones up the front. There were a few that actually took tyres, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that as we got qualifying underway. 15-minute qualifying session as we are on board with Grant Begg there at the moment. Just a quick recap of our championship standing. So it is Joshua Holmes, our winner from last week. Ashton Reynolds, Austin McNeil are your top three, and Austin McNeil is your silver class leader. Josh McLaughlin, Nathan Monks, and Logan Burton are your top three in Pro-Am, and Joe Williams, Giles Stratford, and Tim Kong are your top three in AM class.
interesting matchup. What kind of are we expecting to see? Hopefully some clean racing
Yeah, definitely. I believe the stewards are still recovering from last night, so yeah, we're hoping for some clean racing, but as you can see, not a lot of room on track, and the old let's wait till sector 3 to get gaps in qualifying is standard operating procedure, as we're looking at Lindsay Muddle on screen at the moment. Clean racing, I'm hoping to see some different strategies as well. It's always good when we get some different strats and something a little bit out of the norm, as we are looking at last week's race winner, Josh Holmes, in the 24. But he is back, ladies and gentlemen. I am a bit of a fanboy. It is the one and only Matthew Lamb in the Laundry House Porsche. Keen as mustard to see this guy race.
I'm going to turn my mic back up because we're getting that I'm a bit quiet, so my mic's going to be a bit loud. Hopefully it's better now. Matthew Lamb, though, I'm very excited to see him back after a little bit of injury, yes, as he said. I'm wondering where he's going to qualify, because I don't know how many races he's done since he's come back, nor how well he's been doing.
If it's Matthew Lamb, I'm going to just take a guess and say somewhere up the front, very close to the front, if not pole, as we are on board with him at the moment as we go through the quick uphill chicane. He's 0.1 on his best lap at the moment, then we flick it through, camps up, great corner, best corner on the track by far. And then down into the Mickey Mouse section, which is Lacaxia. Got to brake really nice and straight. Nice late turning, clip the apex, and then really punch it out. Lost a little bit of time there. But he's going about that, yeah, that 0.1 at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on the lap times. Josh Whittaker's in second and Holmes there in third.
I'm seeing some good times here already. We've got, what, is that 3 people in currently the 43s? The top 3 already in the 43s?
Very solid times, but this I think is going to be quicker. Yep.
6. That is beautiful. Another push now. Others coming around. Looking like they're doing on a great lap. That's going to put them up near the front. That is second place currently. It was 43.8, so 2.2 seconds behind.
There's the one and only JC.
Stopping, as he normally does. Surprised it's not in the pits.
No, there's no penalty there. Sorry,
yeah, yeah, it looks like this split's got a lot of good times going for this top 5, which I mean everyone's been doing it, but it looks like we might have quite a few in the 43s. I know Yellow only had maybe 2 people who were in the 43s by the end of qualifying.
Yeah, 43 is silly quick. I think, yeah, anywhere that low 44, mid 43, I think it'll get you on the first sort of 4 or 5 rows. But we'll keep an eye on sort of the classes as well, because I'm just normally get to the 2nd, 3rd round where everyone just starts to sort themselves out, and then everyone gets sort of classed where they should be, and then we get a real cracking sort of back end of the championship. So we're looking at Mr. Thistleweight here, Mr. Smooth on the mic in the McLaren.
Tell you what, I'm really liking these liveries on the track. What is that? I can't even read that.
I think it's die-cast, some sort of die-cast models.
Oh, nice. Maybe a little sponsorship there.
Hey, you got to look after the sponsor.
Yeah. Die-cast models. I don't mind the mix of the green and the red and the white. Kind of blends in with the track. Might camouflage him. We'll see if anything comes from that.
All right, so we've got 7 minutes remaining qualifying. There's Matthew Lamb leading the way from Bruno Ellis. And we're looking at McKellar on the screen at the moment, and one of my absolute favourites, that beautiful Valvoline Ferrari, if you remember what I mean, comes through Gamster now. Such a tricky corner, that one as well. If you can run it wide, but too wide, and track limits will say thank you. And then this absolutely silly corner down here. Always tricky to get the nose in, and then you just got to flick it. Some cars the back end gets a little loose. Then this corner just feels like it goes on forever. You're just patiently waiting for the throttle. And a nice little flick, and then the absolute most stupidest corners on the track. Who thought this was a good idea? Yeah, needs to get their head there, because that is just silly. And through this fantastic last corner. And this is an improvement on his time as well. Moves him up to 13th, so pretty solid lap there from McKellar.
Very solid lap. It's great to see the speed that people pulling around this course that I wasn't able to hit. Now we're on to Burton in the Ford Mustang, currently almost 3/10 above their quickest time. That's doing pretty well. Hitting way above their quickest time. That might put them into the 33s as well, which might drop them quite a few places into possibly somewhere in the top 5.
Be very close. 7th.
Good lap. That's a great lap. I don't mind that livery. I'm not the fan of the brown on it, but I don't mind the livery. Now that livery is something I could get behind. That looks really, really cool on the Lamborghini of McNeil there. That
is very bright. It's got some Golf vibes about it, the orange and the blue. It looks fantastic. Ooh, little taily there as he is about to start his flyer. He runs it nice and wide, getting maximum speed down this long straight. And of course, the Lamborghini does have top speed issues. So struggles on the straights. I reckon even more than the Porsche, and that's saying something. So it's going to be hard. Oh, gee, that was suboptimal.
Not the greatest line to take on first turn. I wonder if that will come into play later. Is that the next WWF livery, I believe they were talking about, with the Pit Viper Mustang there, or Skies?
Oh, Macho Man, Randy Savage. I like it.
Ooh. That's a good one. Nice one to bring in next. A good follow-up of last week's.
I'm impressed. Nice, the Macho Man.
There's beautiful Matt Lamb.
Laundry house, one of my absolute... Oh, that is not where you want to park, sir.
I don't think that's the safest spot to pull over for people to get past you.
Well, we saw last night, we tell it, traffic during the race that he was in a slipstream zone, pulled out, and there was a slow car there, and bang, game over. So got to be really careful where you do sort of pull over the side of the track. It's always best to sort of run it deep into the sand trap and then head back to the pits, or the inside of the pit straight as well.
It's not worth getting just straight out of the way in a situation where you're just going to put the other drivers into more danger.
There is Vediger at the moment in that lovely Coke Zero BMW. Jeez, the Vedigers love their Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, everyone.
I don't have my my normal person that I like to give a commentator's curse on. Trent Callahan's not here tonight, so I've got to find my next target.
Oh.
I'm thinking Jamie Conver. I'm going to give him a little bit of a commentator's curse tonight. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh boy, he'll love that.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at that. Vediger at the moment. It's not a bad lap. I'm thinking that red timer may be a bug, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll just go off the splits. I actually drove the BMW the other day. Took it for a few laps around a couple of different tracks, and I know this sounds very weird, but it's starting to grow on me.
You'd think that it wouldn't, considering like how different it would be from the Porsche with the whole front end engine and everything on the BMW.
Yeah, look, if we put earplugs in and don't look at it, it's nice to drive. But no, of course, nothing beats the King. There it is, looking at Alice at the moment. Here's a Porsche one too.
That's happy day.
Exactly, it's the way it should be. Everything is right in the border. 0.3 though is the gap, so Matty Lamb has put in an absolute stonking lap at the moment. It's going to be very hard to beat, I feel. Vediger in third. Thistleway, fantastic performance there in fourth. Holmes in fifth. And we've got Slade there in sixth. McNeil in seventh. Looking at Lee. We'll go with Lee here.
Lele. I think we
Lele?
discovered last week.
Copy
Lele.
that. In the Dunker Seb livery. Actually, good lap. Keep an eye on this. This is very good.
Keep pulling it like this, they might be able to also drop into the 43s. Might have quite a big leaderboard of 43s today.
Aston is a very solid race car. Little Taylor there on the exit, and then this is all flat through here. And then just make sure you keep a couple wheels inside the white line, and you'll be fine as he moves up to 13th position. As we're looking back there at Brenner at the moment. Improving, definitely improving. 0.1 up on his best lap at the moment as we jump on board and listen to what the best sound in the world. A flat six screaming at 9,000 RPM. There is nothing better. We're heading down now. Braking, nice straight line. One turn. Look at that, beautiful. Again, just 0.1 up. Can he find a little bit of time here in his sector 3? He finds a bit more. Keeps it on exit. He's just got the chicane to go. Oh, lost a little bit there on exit. Now through the chicane. Can he be as deep and late as possible? He is. He's nearly 0.3 out. That's going to be very close, but he loses a little bit there on the exit. Then runs it out nice and wide. It's definitely going to improve his time. And look at that. Still though, 0.148 off Matthew Lamb's time, but closing the gap.
I think, no, not that one. My least favourite livery on the track is that one. I think we're up for some very interesting racing tonight. As long as it's clean out of turn one, I feel like we could be on a good roll. Especially with 2/10 up on his best lap currently, which will drop him into the 43s if he can hold it around the chicane, which it seems like he will, with a little bit of a slide coming out, so that might have been a little bit of a concern, but he's going to hit it off with a 43.9. That's not horrible. That's actually really good.
It's an excellent lap. Looking here at Brimblecombe, currently in 12th position, a little bit up on his best lap at the moment. Again, breaks it nice. So tricky this corner. You just got to break it so straight and then turn it in. If you miss your turn in, corner's buggered. And again, it's so easy to lose time through this section as well. Easy to gain, but very easy to lose. And as perfect example right there. Ooh, car park there. And lost quite a bit of time. This looks like it might not, definitely won't be an improvement now.
He's qualifying over. Who we got left on the track? That's everybody.
That is qualifying over. So Matthew Lamb on pole, Ellis there in second, Vettiger in third, Thistlethwaite in fourth, Murphy, Begg, Holmes, Slade, McNeil, Burton are your 10, with Johnson and Brimblecombe just sitting outside. Good qualifying from Burton. That's a fantastic effort there in the top 10. Great job in that ridiculously overpowered Mustang with 700 horsepower.
Oh, look, now we get to have a good look at these liveries up close. I'm excited to see some of them. I know we missed a couple last week, and because they weren't here, and I know that there's quite a few good ones as well. Some people might be missing their livery, possibly. That Monster Energy one, I don't believe I saw that one last week. That's a nice looking McLaren. Nice. Just it's very simple, but I think sometimes simple works really well.
Exactly. Couldn't agree more. A beautiful Lamborghini. That is a ripper. That is nice.
Yeah. I don't know what they've done with it, but it looks great. Oh, there we go. Jamie Conboy in the Pixel Racers Nissan GTR right there. Don't know how well the GTR will handle here. I don't think I've seen them on here so far.
We saw last night that in the right hands, the GTR is pretty quick around here, so...
So Conboy's not going to handle it well. Good to know. And there we go. Lightning McQueen on the left there in the Aston Martin. Beautiful. Like, very accurate.
Probably suits the Aston the best, actually, I reckon.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. That probably is, yeah. And there we go. There's the WWF Pit Viper car.
Oh, yeah. That was my horrible Macho Man impersonation. Oh, Curse livery. Curse livery.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's nice. Curse livery. There it is.
What? Okay. So that person should be disqualified from the race immediately. Yeah, no, a good lineup of liveries here.
Definitely. Oh, yes. I like that. Valvoline just works.
It does. It's got the right colours.
Yeah, exactly.
PlayStation Aldi, that's interesting. Good to see Aldi's in again. And
yeah.
That, Merc as well.
Now that PlayStation Audi, is that the throwback the Porsche? I believe that livery was on. Way back at Nurbit. I think it's far. I think it was a Porsche. Don't quote me on that though.
I'm not going to quote you on it. Oh.
Oh, and now we're just as we are underway. Of course, full formation lap. 60-minute race tonight. One mandatory pit stop. Do not have to take tyres, but so the 3-litre strat is sort of the popular option with no tyres, but we may see a couple of drivers try and pull a bit of a shifty and take tyres and try and come through the field later on, or try and get out of traffic. So it will be really interesting to keep an eye on. What we all are waiting for though is please can we get a nice clean lap one?
I really hope so. That is all I'm hoping for right now. If we can make it through lap one, I think that I would be very happy tonight. We've got a good lineup. It seems like everyone is going to take it pretty safely. If everyone has listened, it is big penalties. It looks like Slade did forget to hit drive because he was trailing in the pits. But yeah, there will be big penalties if there is collisions, especially lap one. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some stop goes. And there is Slade sitting in the pits, I'm guessing from forgetting to hit drive.
very easy to do, but that's unfortunate. It's going to put him right at the back of the field, and he's going to have to start from the pit lane. So he might be one of the ones that does a bit of an alternate strategy, as we were looking at last week when our championship leader, Josh Holmes, at the moment. Beautiful Lamborghini. But Lamborghini, as I've heard from a couple of drivers, really does struggle around here, especially in these hot temps as well. Porsche's a bit of the same. Once its rears decide to go, it's a bit of a handful. Mustang apparently is bad on his tyres. The GTR's not so bad on his tyres. The Ferrari, of course, doesn't use any fuel. So,
and the Aston as well is very nice. It was great to not feel like I was sliding out constantly in the Aston for the whole race. I was one of the people who did the just a splash and dash, and it worked out well.
Well, since you are new here, Jaden, I did the intro, so guess what? It's all over to you.
All right, as we are approaching race start, we've got Matthew Lamb at the front in the Porsche, the Dirty Laundry one. We're getting close to the last turn here. Yeah, it's good. I'm excited for this start. I'm hoping it's a bit better. We're about to reach the final corner, and it will be a green flag, hopefully very quickly. All right, we're getting around the corner. We've got Matthew Lamb in first, Alice in second, and Vediger in third, with Thistlewaite in fourth. They'll be our four leading for this race start. And they should. There they go. There they go. They've made it a little further than yellow so far. So let's hope T1 can keep this clean. As they come around the first corner with Brunel side, but almost in front of Matthew Lamb. And it looks like they are holding it clean. They're keeping their there was a little bit of... Nobody fully turned around, so it was clean-ish, which is what we want to see. And it looks like Matthew Lamb has taken back the lead and will keep it. It doesn't look like many positions have changed so far, but we will see as the leaderboard updates.
Very good start, Split Blue. Well done. That is excellent. A little bit of sort of people just trying to jostle for their position. Oh, this is looking a little... Well done again. Look, they're too wide through the back half of the field, and they are keeping it very neat and tidy. This is a fantastic start from Blue, but is Matthew Lamb leading the way from Alice, Vediger, Thistlewaite, Begg, Murphy, Holmes, Burton, McNeil, and Conboy are your 10 at the moment.
I'm just loving how clean they've kept it so far, side by side. Oh no, I see a yellow flag in the back there.
Oh dear.
But apart from that, it has been very clean so far. The side by sides, there's been obviously, again, too wide through the corners. And so far, if anything, just a little bit of like rubbing on the corners, and that's, I guess, rubbing is racing. So yeah, it's looking good.
Very good. So now everyone has got their position on track, got their space. Now it's just get into a rhythm, manage your tyres. Tyre management, that's the big talking point from all the drivers at the moment, is managing these tyres in these absolutely scorching conditions. Yes, we have got someone in the pits early, so that's Walsh.
We'll say that's a smart play, and there's another one as well from Mercedes. I'm not sure who's driving Mercedes. Didn't see who was driving that, but I will say it gives you a lot of clean air coming out of the pits that early. You pretty much have like 10 to 15 laps of clean air if you don't have many people around you when you come out. So if they can pull off these pits right, no penalties or anything, then it'll be smooth.
Well, based on my sheet, it's either Reynolds or Scanlon who's taken that stop, because they're the only two mates that I can see. So again, could be a big brain strap.
It could be. Well, I guess that's something we'll find out over the 60 minutes.
Going to Holmes here. At the moment, he's got Burton all over him at the moment. And that Mustang, look at, watch this Mustang. If you keep an eye on Holmes here, we might just keep... Watch this. This Mustang will hit 4th gear and just go, ha ha, you're funny. Oh, he goes through a huge dive. That's a massive send from Burton. Oh, wow, he sent that from Portugal. Jeepers.
That was almost dangerous. Like everybody was able to get to that APA. But that will put that Mustang down quite a few positions already. So I don't know if there will be any penalties coming from this commission.
That was good avoidance, very much so. Good driving from everyone. That could have ended a lot worse. I think the key though with the early tyre stop, what you don't want is to get held up by traffic. That's the key to make it work. But again though, making that 20, what is it, a 30-second stop for tyres, it's risky.
I personally don't think the tyre stop's worth it. I think you're putting yourself too far behind with not enough space in between you, because by the time you're doing the tyre stop, you then have cars all across the track at all times. And here's a replay of the Mustang flying down. That's 3 cars that almost got taken out. That was close. That was very close.
What that was good avoidance by the other drivers as well, especially that Porsche. He saw him coming, jumped on the brakes, and was like, "Yep." Very smart.
That would have probably sent some shivers down their spines as they saw that Mustang go flying by that almost could have taken him out of the race.
Now, I've seen this story many times before. I thought Matty Lamb would drive away here, but Breno Ellis is absolutely on his rear engine and he's not letting him get away anywhere. This is a great drive. Ellis for pro, definitely. I agree with that. He's putting in a huge shift here. So Matthew Lamb's going to have to actually work for this one, which is good to see. It's what we want. Race for the lead.
I'll be very interested to see how they change over the course of the race as well, with the tyres degrading and everything, and wanting to also work on tyre saving while wanting to be first. So they'll be pushing, but how much is that going to affect their strategies as well?
Yeah, exactly. Very great point. It's real fine balance especially when you race these kind of strap or this kind of race, is managing that pace. You want to get pace, of course, but then you want to look after the car as well, so you've got something in the back end to fight with. So, in the background now, just look at that Thistlewaite and Vediger. That's getting a bit spicy. Now looking at Lele and McCullough at the moment. This is down in 12th and 13th. Vediger and Thistlewaite. Thistlewaite's just hanging on the back of the big BMW. Actually, the McLaren, I was talking to someone before that it's wider than you think, the McLaren.
It definitely is. You don't realise it until you're actually in it and driving around the course and how much wider than it is. Like, I thought the Mustang was wide when I drove that, but it really wasn't that much wider than the McLaren, if it was at all.
Yeah, it's such an aero-sensitive car as well, the McLaren. When it's hooked up, it's magnificent to drive. When it's not hooked up, I reckon it's more deathly than the Porsche.
I am wondering what's going to be the better position to be in when you're in a race at the moment, which is whether it's better to be at the front or behind the person, because which one's going to destroy your tyres?
Well, of course, aero wash is such a big thing with these cars as well, especially when you get really wide up behind someone like Thistlewaite is at the moment on that. There we go on Vediger. He's got a nice run here out of the last corner. He is right up the backside. Ooh, Vediger goes defensive straight away. He's going to make Thistlewaite go around the outside. They head down the main straight now. Vediger in the marbles. Oh, that is a lovely defending here. Thistlewaite. Oh, bit of gamesmanship there from Vediger. Wow, this is a spicy battle. This is going to go on for a little while longer. Yep. We'll keep an eye on that because that was very interesting.
They are holding it close together as well. Obviously, Thistlewaite wanting to get past the BMW as quickly as possible, not wanting that aero wash, as you were saying before. Aero wash will get those tyres probably down quicker than you want. Depending on what strategy they're trying to run, the best way to do it is just get past. Looking at a replay of Jenny Convoy sending it past the Ferrari, and Convoy off the track.
Yep, that's not the line you need to take there, JC. As we're back with this fantastic battle between Vediger and Thistlewaite. You just got a feeling Thistlewaite's got to have another crack. He's seen what Vedica do. He's seen his cards. He's played his cards early. So he's going to sit. And what this is allowing is look behind. Begg and Murphy are starting to catch up here. So these two don't want to get too cute. Because if they do, this is going to turn into a four-way fight very, very quickly. We jump on board with Thistleway at the moment as they come down into this tricky Mickey Mouse section. Just watch Thistleway here, see if he gets another good run again.
I believe they're approaching our first blue flag with the leaders coming up on the car 201, which is driven by Ben Thomas. So I'll be interested to see how that will play in as well, having a blue flag this early into the race.
Yeah, especially with the leaders, especially when we've got a replay here. What's this? Oh, that's 3 wide. That is that is not what you need. Just as we were talking the praises of Split Blue, they've just done that. That was optimistic, we'll say.
Yeah, no, I don't think that was the right line you want to take, especially when you have that many people around you.
Rewards patience in this track.
It really does, yeah. Because someone will make a mistake, and it's usually somewhere around the third sector. Second or third sector. That's where a lot of the mistakes I see happen.
Yeah, I agree. The move into the chicane seems to be a popular one. I don't know why, but that is probably the last place. Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this battle between Thistleway and Vedica right now, though, because they're keeping it clean, but they're also fighting for that position. With Thistleway getting as close as he can to that BMW without any issues. We'll see if he gains a bit of time, because they're about to come back up to where he did before after this chicane. They're losing a bit of traction there, which is not going to do well for the tyres.
Thanks, lurking. Onto the straight now. Watch the McLaren in the slipstream. He's got the BMW in front. Begg's close enough. He's there. Just also lurking is Murphy in the T-Cozy.
You can see them all biding their time, just waiting for either something to happen or for them to be able to get up there and push past them when they're battling.
This is where you sort of got to ask yourself that question as well. Am I losing time sitting behind this car? Thistleway definitely looks like he's got a pace advantage, but that BMW just... Vedica, well, I've seen this from Vedica many times. He just knows where to place a car.
That'll be a big thing for Vedica right now. Will be trying to just play as defensive as possible, because he's got people right behind him who really want to pass him. If he loses one position, that could be 2 or 3 positions with how close they are. We're watching another replay.
Oh, JC!
Jamie Convoy doing a little swing.
Oh, can he hold it?
Style points.
Can he hold it though? Can he hold it? JC! Oh, yes!
Oh,
Sir. Oh, that is brilliant. Oh, look at this. This is glorious.
I didn't realize we were in Tokyo Drift. I think there might have been a little bit of lag there.
I'm going to take a guess though. I reckon his rear tyres are absolutely cooked.
He might not have any anymore. But that was beautiful, to say the least. I didn't realize we were in Japan that early.
Back to this fascinating battle for 3rd and 4th here. This is the final step of the podium. And look at this way. He's got another run here on Vedica. Vedica, watch him brake here. He's just nice and straight. And always clips that inside apex. He makes it virtually impossible to make a move. This way, as you can see, gets a lovely run, but just nowhere to pass at the moment.
He's keeping it really close. I'm wondering, he wants to make the pass. You can see him having a check on the inside, showing Vedica that he is there and that he's ready to make a move on him. Which, if I was in the car in front of Thistleway right now, I'd be absolutely scared. Seeing that McLaren just appear and disappear out among us, not something I like.
it's always tricky. Some people really enjoy leading a pack. Some people love being behind and chasing, but yeah, I'm very much a chaser. I don't like it. If I was Vediger at the moment, I'd be absolutely sweating bullets. I actually like Murphy's position here. He's just sitting there, just keeping an eye on what's happening here, and the undercut is quite strong here, so if he feels like he wants to jump a position, he might come in early.
It looks like he's keeping a little bit of space on Holmes and then just kind of giving that little space to the McLaren in front of Begg. So he's getting that little bit of clean air with just a tiny bit of air wash, but I don't think it's going to be affecting his tyres enough to cause concern for him.
Again, see Vediger at that last chicane, he just gets such a good drive. And he's just keeping that gap absolutely where it needs to be at the moment.
They're sitting in the 45s, the low 45s, which is probably the times that they want to sit in safe tyres. Oh, they're going too wide.
I think that's Burton on Holmes there. It is Burton on Holmes. There's been contact. Oh, Burton nearly spins it around. Oh, how he held on to that. That's great car control. But he's got McNeil now in the gun sights. McNeil, though, poor bugger in that Lamborghini has just got no power compared to the completely ridiculous Mustang.
The Mustang, so powerful, and we've seen how powerful it is on the straights, but its disadvantage is these tighter turns, as well as some of the longer turns can destroy those tires very quickly on the Mustang. So that Lamborghini through the whole of the second and some of the third sector some of the second sector, most of the third sector will be able to catch the Mustang, but yeah.
Replay here. Oh, taking the motorbike line. Okay, yep, that works. Yep,
that is
perfect.
That could have been a bad rejoin, but he kept it to the left and kept it out of the way of the racing line, so I will say that was a great rejoin.
Clearly a MotoGP fan.
Cool. Might want to be staying off that road though.
And here we are, back again. Round 74. Oh, Thistleway just runs it too wide and catches the sausage. That's allowed Begg to get under the rear wing. Don't think Begg's close enough though.
Just really quickly want to draw attention to the leader, Matt Lamb. He's currently got a 1 second gap on Alice, 1.1 second gap on Alice. So he's making a little bit of space now. I wonder if Alice has given that room on purpose to kind of give his tires a little bit of pull down from the pace.
I mean, they're just trade lap times at the moment. But Alice is very much keeping Matthew Lamb on the side. As I said, I've seen this with many players. Matthew Lamb gets in front and drives off into the distance. But this is a great job for Alice. It's 100% that's what pro. That's still a page up to the previous round, 100%. Because he is just knowing he is very much a pro driver as we look at the Swiss group at the moment. Quick shout out to Benjamin Higgins, who's been on the camps tonight, so providing these fantastic pictures that you are all watching. We're looking at McNeil here at the moment, the camera too. Nice battle down there, green 8th and up to 9th hand. Just behind that battle up ahead, so this could all kick off very quickly as well.
Very much so. And as we've seen so far, they've kept a very clean, no safety car so far, no crazy incidents, maybe a couple little taps that have sent people around, but for the most part, everyone's kind of keeping to their own race and holding their lines pretty well, so it has been very clean. It's good to see.
And just a quick apology about the audio. It is Discord things, completely out of our control. Let's just focus in on the racing. He's got Begg and Murphy here, so that's about to kick off as well. As Murphy in the T-Cozy is trying to make a move on the McLaren. That's not going to work there because that Porsche just does not have the straight line poke that it should have. The demon in the... Oh, he's looking back. What is that? Oh, who is that? Oh, what has happened there? Oh, no. Something has definitely happened there.
I will be waiting for the replay on that one. I'm excited to see what happened there.
I need to see who... Well, I'm trying to work that one out. that Brimblecombe? I believe that looked like a Ferrari and a Lamborghini. Was that McNeil and Brimblecombe, I'm guessing?
It looks like it was the amount of spaces they've just dropped, so I'm going to guess it was McNeil and Brimblecombe.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Well, here we go.
Here we go. Brimblecombe going for a move on the inside, catches the curb and just goes whoop, out of the way. Oh, and then McNeil just gives him one back. And then a couple of cars are coming through here. Oh, this is all getting a little bit, oh dear, oh dear. Looks like it's all sorted itself out, and we'll leave the stewards to run their rule book over that one as we're back live with Beg and Murphy.
Just a thank you to the stewards as well over the last 2 weeks. A lot of crazy action over the last 2 weeks, and they've done quite a good job of keeping up with the all the action and getting those penalties out to the people who have done the bad. Done the bad. That's the
Done the bad. Done the bad, I like it.
Well, it looks like Chris Murphy is keeping up with Beg right now, and looks like he might be going for a move very soon, as they've given a bit of space to. I'm guessing that would be because they're currently battling out, and Murphy's going to try to. No, he doesn't get it. He was going to go for the outside there, but it gets.
Driving that Porsche is so frustrating on the straights. It's just like, you know you can pass them, but you just don't. An extra 10 kilometres an hour, oh, it'd be amazing. But it just doesn't have the straight line poke. That's okay. I still love it.
Power though. It definitely feels like it's missing a little bit of power that it should have. But it's already, like, as we can see with Matt Lamb handling it and Alice at the front there, they've definitely got the power to take off. It's just those straights that definitely take you out. And when you're stuck behind someone on the corners and you can't make it past them because the turns are just not the right turns to pass, it's a very annoying situation to be in.
It's such a weird track, this one. Like, I enjoy it. It's one of those, I enjoy lapping it, I really do. It's got some great challenging corners, and except this stupid Mickey Mouse section, the stupid chicane. The rest of it, I actually enjoy lapping it, but racing on it has its good points and its bad points. If you've got a car with a bit of straight line poke, you can make it work, but anything that doesn't have any straight line power can be quite difficult. As you can see, Murphy's, Beg runs it really deep into the chicane, runs it over the sausage as well, but so does Murphy, so that's going to compromise both exits. But he gets a lovely run out of the final corner. Can he make a move here? He looks like he's definitely in the slipstream. He's trying to catch as much as he can. Is he going to go for the late move at the outside? We've got a car coming out of the pits as well, so it's going to make things real interesting. Brilliant driving from the car coming out of the pits. And it is back to line astern. So
Really good.
And we've got a few penalties coming in now. So Pacaroy, the 830's got a 15-second penalty, and Conboy's got a 15-second penalty as well.
There's the curse that I said at the start. I said I want to get Jamie Conboy. I think I've called it already.
Congratulations.
I'm going to take that.
You're officially now part of the OR commentary team.
I'm taking that as a win for tonight.
I'll make... Oh, Murphy! Whoa. Wow, hell. I'll also make sure I let JC know in the next split as well.
Oh, no. I'm going to get your full later. We've got a replay. Murphy he's lost, he would have lost some of his rubber there on his tyres, so I'm wondering if he's going to go for the tyre change strategy, because he looks like he is sliding a bit too much out there.
The natural stance.
I will say... Oh, there's Jamie Conboy. I will say with this track, though, it feels almost opposite of Coda, with the track limits being a bit more lenient, but Coda I found was a lot better for racing, but not great to hot lap. Well, this track feels a lot better hot lap than racing.
I think you're 100% spot on. As we're looking at JC here in the GTR with ridiculous power, Now, he's going to try and make a move here on Holmes. He's going to try and go around the outside if you don't mind. This is very close. They both give racing room. Oh, that was fantastic racing by both drivers there. JC had the horsepower, but look at that. Holmes just placed that Lamborghini absolutely perfectly and made it virtually impossible for JC to get past.
And that just shows what I think a few people do miss is that sometimes you do need to just back off a little and save yourself for another corner to try to do the overtake. Because if you've got them once, you're probably going to be able to do it again. So it's not worth taking that risk of trying to just dive in and get it. Exactly.
Put the key in the rack, do another couple of laps, opportunities will present themselves.
There's another penalty there of 10 seconds for the lead in the other Nissan, so that's 2 Nissans on the track with a penalty. I will say I'm a fan of the Nissans. I know they get a lot of hate, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but I don't hate them.
Yeah, not bad for a day.
Not bad.
Actually, a couple of great battles here on track at the moment. We've got McNeil and Lele having a nice ding dong. Aston versus Lambo, and then we've got the GTR of Convoy versus Holmes and Lambo. And we're going to go for round 2 here. We know that GTR's got some ridiculous straight line poke as well, but Holmes gets a lovely run out of the final corner and should be able to hold him off. But watch his GTR, just watch how much it catches up here.
That'll put some acceleration, doesn't it? I don't believe it has a great top end, but the acceleration on that car is quick.
Yeah, it punches really quick through the gears, and yeah, it just fires out of corners. Putting some serious pressure on. He's going to go for. Oh, I thought he. I reckon he had half a second thought there and decided to back out of it.
Definitely flying slow. He wants that pass, but he's going to wait until it's a safer corner, especially with already a 15-second penalty. He's not going to be wanting to do to be having any more incidents tonight. Not sure what happened in his first one, but yeah, he wanted to kind of keep it a bit safer for the rest of the race.
Just a quick check-in.
Sorry?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just about to say about the temps that it's, again, 43 degrees out there, and so I believe that was 33-degree track temp, which is very hot. So, yeah, they'll be, again, trying to save these tyres, the heat ripping through them. And, yeah, we're halfway to the race, so we will be seeing the people who will be likely pitting for tyres going in at about now. And, yeah, we'll see how well that pays off for them.
Certainly could not agree more with that as well. It is very hot here in Spain, hotter than a chili prawn on the barbie, as JC now is going to try and fling it up the inside. I think Holmes is actually going to try and hang it around the outside here. He's got the inside line for this corner, but JC is going to have the inside here and just goes, thank you very much, I'll take that. But of course he is carrying a 15-second invoice, so Holmes did fight it, but maybe thought, you know what, might just leave this one. I've got a replay here, JC. This might be a good penalty.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
That will do it. That will give you a penalty. I'm not sure you want to be punting people, which wasn't really much of a big punt, but you don't really be doing that.
Kind of a half punt.
Yeah, it was a little tap. I imagine it was just a little bit of difference in acceleration points, and obviously, as we said, the GTR does quickly accelerate, so I imagine it just would have been a little bit of a miscalculation.
So I've been keeping an eye sort of just ahead of Convoy there. I'm watching Burton at the moment. He's the one I'm really keeping an eye on because he is absolutely flying in that Mustang. And he is ranging up to the back of Murphy here, and as good as Chris Murphy is behind the wheel of that Porsche, that Mustang's just going to laugh once it gets onto this big long straight, and it's going to fly past this Porsche. So we can keep it neat and tidy, maybe not this lap, but definitely the next lap, this is definitely going to go into a three-way fight, because Murphy again is ranging up to the back of Begg. Again, it's just like it hits an invisible wall, but he's got maybe a slight overlap. He's going to try and send it around the outside, but nothing's better of it. And look at that Mustang. Look at the ground it made up then. Here we go. So all of a sudden, a two-way's become a three-way battle. And this is for 5th, 6th, and 7th currently on the road. And we have not really seen any pit stops as well, with 31 minutes still to go in this race. We will keep an eye on people when they do come in, as Holmes does come in. Holmes is the first one to blink.
So it looks like he'll be taking the double tyre shred, changing up the tyres as well. Is my guess with the pitting at this time. Which I believe he's the first of many to do it. But yeah, if not, if we don't see any more, like many more people pit, it looks like they'll be running just a splash of dash. Well, probably towards the end of the race, probably the last 10 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. To make it work, the tyre straight, you've really got to pit not early, but relatively early, and just hope you do come out in clear air. That's the key. If you come out stuck behind cars, you're in for a long day.
Which looks like Holmes might have come out just in the middle of the pack there, so might not have worked out too great. And the problem with people pitting now is they're either going to be a lap down or they're going to be on the same lap as everybody, so they're going to be struggling to fight back for positions, is what I see.
The gaps in this battle just spread out a little bit again. Just have a look at JC in the background there. He'll be keeping an eye on it. I wonder if he can actually catch up to these guys before he comes in for his stop. That'll make things interesting.
Sorry, we got it. Look, another pitter. There's another one pitting. We're having a great battle there between the Mustang and the McLaren there as the Ferrari goes wide on the final turn. It looks like we've got quite a few people in the pits now, making their stop for a tyre change. So it does seem like that is a strategy that a decent amount of people are taking. So we will see how that does pay off across the field. And we can see Holmes here just trying to make up positions, passing people who have not pitted yet. Currently in 23rd, so we can watch as he makes his progress back up to the field. Or 19th now, I believe, if the leaderboard will change.
Never trust the leaderboard, that's what I've always done. Always go with what it says down the bottom.
I will use that from now on.
So this is closed up again. So just three totally different cars with totally different engines in different spots, strengths and weaknesses, and it's fascinating to watch all three of them. And these are all three very, very class drivers. Just watching how they apply the strengths and weaknesses to each car, it's great to see. But the Mustang is a little closer this time, but Murphy is so good out of that final turn. Clearly that was a focus for him when he was doing laps, just to make sure he nails that final turn every time, just so he doesn't get munched up by pretty much everything else. And once again, keeps the Mustang behind.
Just a thing on Murphy's livery, as I said, I don't like it. I've just seen the name of his livery, or his team name in this case, and I'm starting to understand why why it looks like that.
Tatico.
Of course. That looks like a rug my grandma would knit.
Oh yeah, true. No, those baby blankets that you always get from your grandma when you've got a kid. They just give you two. You never use them, but you always get one.
You always get one. It just ends up lying there somewhere in a pile or something in the corner. They keep it pretty close, these three, but there's enough of a gap between them that I don't think any of them are going to attempt to make a move at this point. That Mustang is trying to push, but as we get to this third sector, I wouldn't be surprised if it loses a little bit of time until we get to the straight, where it will obviously do what a Mustang does and gets right behind the Porsche.
Just a quick check-in with the lead. Matthew Lamb has opened up that gap to 1.7 seconds, so he's just starting. Whoa! That's as close as you like there. Wow, Murphy. Yep, he got to know that rear of that McLaren very well.
Oh, I bet Murphy could have seen any speck of dust on that McLaren right there.
Oh, there we go. Who was that? Was that Burton? That was Burton. So Burton's come in.
That's another one pitting. That will, again, that's probably the smart play for the Mustang. A car that rips through tyres on a normal track in this heat will definitely need tyres, especially for a 60-minute race.
Very much Murphy again. That McLaren, I think, is just starting to struggle a little bit. Oh, look at that. What a slide there from Murphy, though. Standard Porsche behaviour. And in the background, there is the Purple People Eater GTR just lurking.
Just lurking back there, ready to kind of take his chance to try to move up, try to gain as many positions as he can. I imagine he'll be trying to get as far to the front as he can to at least try to stay in the top 10, which with a 15-second penalty, I don't know how long that's going to be.
Just look at the Murphy's car there. Those rears. This might be the phase that the Porsche goes through. It goes through this weird phase where the tyres just feel absolutely horrible and then they come back to you. It's one of the strangest things I've ever felt in a car. But if you're sliding at every corner, they may not come back. Be interested to see.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, be interested to see if he pits here or very soon. Definitely keep an eye on that.
I'm expecting it from the Porsches with how much they do slide, especially in my controls. I'm usually turned around by lap 3. I would be surprised if they try to go for the long run with them. But what I was going to say is the leaderboard is looking very different this week so far. Ashton Reynolds, who I believe is second on the leaderboard at the moment, is currently in 16th place, although having done a pit stop, so that could be a reason for being so far back. But yeah, the leaderboard's had a big change around as well.
A completely different track, I feel, and conditions as well. It's definitely mixed a few things up. Reynolds is carrying a 10-second invoice, and that will be added to his race time at the end of this race. So, just the Merc again, another car that's got Holmes in front as well. So Holmes is doing okay here at the moment. He's moved up to 15, sorry. So keep an eye. Lewis comes in for his stop. And that's with 23 minutes to go. I reckon if you get to that 15-minute mark to go and less, you're not taking tyres.
I think at the 15-minute mark or less, it'd be kind of almost stupid to take tyres. You're putting yourself in a bad position where you're not going to make up enough time from those tyres to make it worth it.
Yeah.
Unless you have like slid out in like the last 2 laps or whatever, and your tyres are completely dead, it's almost pointless.
Oh, this is starting to spice up here. Reynolds is going to try and go for a move on Holmes. Holmes goes defensive. Reynolds is going to go around the outside if you don't mind. Oh, that is as close as you like. Is he going to use the horsepower of the Merc? He does. That's a fantastic move. Oh, Ashton Reynolds. Beautiful. Just use the power of the Merc around the outside if you don't mind. And thank you very much, as we are looking at a replay here. Oh, that's Murphy. That's Murphy. That's a huge problem. That is Porsche Things 101.
That's exactly what we're talking about with the Porsche, though. The tyres and him, as I said earlier, he was starting to slide and you see what it does. And as I said, Porsche probably would be better off pitting for tyres in this race with the heat and the fact that it does easily slide, from my experience at least.
Yeah, it's once the rears go on it, that's all it does. It just slides everywhere. Except though, if you're this guy.
He's almost made that gap 2 seconds on Alice right there. Oh, there it is. The 2-second gap at the moment on Alice, who's looks like trying to. Is that a blue flag? I see. Is just racing along in kind of a bit of clean air. I believe there's enough gap for it to be clear. And then Vediger in third with is that a 14-second gap? Which means that he's got quite a bit of traffic in front of him with all those blue flags to get through. In fourth place of Thistlewaite, only 2 seconds behind Vediger. Obviously wanting to get past this blue flag and get it. And yeah, there seems to be a 2-second gap between a lot of the top 5.
Yeah, it definitely has spread out the field. What this is also going to do is give the championship a good old shake-up, it is a lot of 8 rounds this season. So, and we are of course going to all circuits at Formula 1 race on. So we're at Kota, and now we are at Barcelona, which of course used to be a former test track in F1 back in the day when Formula 1 could test as much as they like. Of course, there's testing bans on everything these days, but back then, yeah, they'd run laps in the winter and they'd run laps before the season, and they'd just pop down there during the week, stuff to do. As we're looking at Austin McNeil currently in 7th position, keeping himself, he's got some nice space around him as well. So, and then Jamie Conboy there in 6th position. No, yes, 6th position.
Wish we could see how his tyres are doing.
Yeah, I know. Well, after that Drift Nationals that he performed before, how he's holding on to that, those rears, they've got to be cooked, surely. Yes, thank you.
That was beautiful. Didn't give me much information on the tyres, but it definitely showed me what they look like. And he does slide out on that turn there, which was... I don't even know what turn that was. I don't know where we are on the track.
That's camps up, and then we're down in the Lacax here at the moment.
Okay, yep. The worst turn on the track, apart from the chicane.
And the bunks up at up, and up towards Europe car. And of course, we've got the chicane RACC. Stupid chicane, seriously.
It's way too tight, especially for cars this big, and then people trying to dive along. It's not a great spot. And Vediger has pitted at the 20-minute mark, or 19-minute mark, I should say. I wonder, I'm going to guess he's going for tyres if he's pitting now, unless he's trying to make the long play and stop an undercut by pitting early.
Could be, yeah. It's not a bad shout.
Because I believe there was talks of the best option was to pit a bit earlier than 15 minutes and do a splash and dash, because then you can at least fight back for position if they do undercut you.
That's exactly spot on the money there. And it looks like he's out of the pits already, so that was 100% a splash and dash here. So we're going to keep an eye on that. So we'll keep an eye on where he drops down to, and whereabouts on the track he drops into is more important as well. So I'm having a look here, and that's Holmes coming down the main straight now. Has he got past? Or is just having a quick look and trying to read the numbers. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
look at that. Beautiful. Look at that.
So the early
out,
strap for Holmes has not worked.
Not worked, but this has worked beautifully for Vediger, because look at the space around him. Now, head down. This should be good to watch.
It looks like he's got a lot of clean air in front of him, at least for a minute or two, that he can use to just make up that time so he doesn't get undercut as easily.
Here's someone who's just trotting along. Ashley Johnson. Fantastic race at the moment. I've always said, if you don't get yourself much TV coverage, you're normally having a pretty good day. Currently in 9th position, driving beautifully. Got the Aston nice and hooked up, back with bag. And look at behind him. He's got a very angry JC, and JC pulls out of the slipstream. Is he going to set? No, thinks better of it, pulls back in.
I wonder if we'll start seeing people care less about the tyres now that we're getting towards the end, than just pushing their cars to the limits to try to get past.
We're going to see who's got some really good car control. That's what we're going to see. And also, we're going to see drivers that have actually nursed their car. And as you can see, Matthew Landau out to 2.6 seconds over Ellis at the moment. He's just starting to extend like a metronome.
Maybe another drift from JC in this area again, hopefully.
Yeah, let's put on a show for us, JC. Come on. Has he got the angry eyes on? I reckon he's got the angry eyes on because look what's behind him. That's a Mustang. Yes, it's a blue flag, but it's a Mustang.
You know how JC's with Mustangs?
Yes, true. They're just starting to drive a bit defensively because he knows he's vulnerable here. But he's pretty good through this final chicane. I think I've only seen one real mistake. He just ran it a little bit too deep. Oh, look at that GTR. It says monster in him at the moment.
We're really going to see how this strategy plays out with all of the top 10 currently not pitted yet. Which, if the strategy is played out well, then most of them should be able to somewhat hold position.
There we go. JC's going to try and go around here. Look at that. That is horsepower 101. Now, I don't know if Beg just let off maybe a little bit to let him go, but if not, that's just, yeah.
Maybe because Beg would have seen that he has a 15-second penalty. And
I think so.
Maybe it's just better to let him drive because it's very unlikely that Beg will fall that far behind that he'll lose his position too badly.
We've got a bit of blue flag traffic up ahead as well, so still, as always, play itself out. Oh, as JC runs it. Oh, it's just a different line he takes. Okay. So slightly alternate line. Just think Beg's starting to struggle in that McLaren though. You can just look at the attitude of the car. So they're starting to slide the rear quite a bit.
It's amazing how fast they take that corner. I was scared to take that corner myself. And there's the abomination of a Mustang out front there.
Oh, yes, it is. It's the curse car. There it is of paint. Oh, that is wrong on so many levels. Back here with Beg. Again, he's so good under brakes. Just closes up, but then catches a little bit of the inside curve there.
The power of that GTR, you just see it right here as it takes off down the straight.
That was a good sort of view of the acceleration of it. Oh, this is getting a blue flag. The Audi moves beautifully out of the way. Nicely done.
The blue flags so far have seemed pretty clean with no real issues for what I've seen. They've all been able to get out of the way quick enough.
Now, is that Mustang for Audi for position? That's what I'm trying to figure out as well because so Reed in 30th and Payne no, is that Monks? It looks like it is Monks, I believe. So that is for position. It certainly is. So nice little fight here between Reed and Monks. Currently down there 30 and 31st. Nice little pro-am battle.
Always love to look at some of these battles from the back of the pack. I know we don't often get, we're not often able to because of the action that happens at the front. But these little battles at the back also define a lot of what happens in the races. So it's good to see some of the action in the back here.
Oh, definitely. Some of the best racing I've had sort of in that big pack. That's where I race because I've always said the day I get a top 10 is the day I do a stream with completely naked. In the PlayStation Andy, back with Beg now. Oh, here's his Mustang, so he's vulnerable here because this Mustang will just go.
Well, we're in the last 12 minutes now, and these cars are flying along. You see the But yeah, we're in the last 12 minutes, so people should be pitting around now, especially this top 10 who are very much, all of them, still not pitted yet. So they'll all be looking for the pits very soon. As we look at Vediger, who has pitted, slowly making his way around the field. He is starting to catch horsepower without the pits even happening. So there'll be a few places the Vediger will make up right there.
Definitely, I think he just pitted at the right time. He got himself lots of clean air, so he could just put in absolute stonkers, and we'll see where he ends up. I don't think I think the top two are gone. As Liam is out to 3.4 seconds over Ellis, but fight for that last podium position. That's going to be an absolute ripper to watch when Thistleway comes in. Looking at JC at the moment, currently in 4th position. It's had an interesting race. We've seen drift action, we've seen a bit of Punterino, we've seen Spartans. We're back here, so we've got Brimblecombe, and it looks like that is Lewis at the moment. So this might kick off. Brimblecombe, that is not the line you want to take. And now he is vulnerable to Perkins, and Perkins goes, "Thank you, I'll be taking that." Swings back to the outside of the track, and business has resumed. Back with Convoy. I reckon, when do you think these guys are going to pit?
It's got to be anywhere in the, if it's not within the next 5 minutes, I feel like it's not going to work out. We see Beggars pitted, so that's definitely a good one. Yeah, so it'll be anywhere within the next 5 minutes. If anyone hasn't pitted by the last 5 minutes of the race, I'm going to assume that they're probably not going to stay in the top 10 for that.
Yeah, I think some are going to go as long as they possibly can without sort of getting the penalty. We're looking at Reynolds here, who is carrying a 10-second. That is Begg just in front of him. Now, where is the Vediger? I think Vediger's in front of him. He is.
Yep, there. A bit of distance in front as well. That's a lot of clean space between.
He's put a huge margin on Begg.
So that seems like it is the optimal strat for somebody who is coming from, I believe, 3rd place was Vediger. So, and Alice is pitted now. The 2nd place driver has pitted in the Porsche, which we will see how that works out as well. We've seen for Vediger it has worked out decently, pitting 20 minutes before the race ended, and yeah. And now I'm interested to see when Matt Lamb will also pit.
To be honest, he can pit when he wants, really.
That's fair. Thistleway has also gone into the pits now. It looks like all of our top 10 will be making the moves.
So this is the one we've been waiting for. So we'll keep an eye on that, as Reynolds here is absolutely giving Begg a thorough examination. And we'll keep an eye. This is important here for Begg. He's got to absolutely nail this chicane, because if he doesn't, that Merc's going to go, hello. Merc is another one that just has some horsepower. And here it goes. Slingshot mode activated.
I've always wanted to try driving the Merc, but I've always heard mixed opinions on it, so it's always scared me.
It's an interesting car, I will say that. Not my cup of tea, but it is an interesting car. You know, look at that, gets it done easy. Don't mind there, Reynolds, yep. Beautifully done, well executed move, good racing by both drivers, heads up racing. I don't think Begg will be too disappointed with that, especially with Reynolds carrying a 10-second penalty.
Look at the speed of that move.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Oh, Vediger. Look at that, jump Thistleway there. So that strategy is playing out beautifully.
I wonder if any of our split redder watching are going to take any of that into account, the fact that the 20 minutes seems to work out pretty well.
Especially, I think let's be honest, what's helped Vettiger here as well. He just come out absolutely clean. Oh, 454. Looks like we saw a yellow flag there. So that is not what you want. The thing with Vettiger, he just come out in clean air, so that really helped a lot. Oh, Matthew Lamb's decided to come in and pit. And, yep.
I believe Alice has come out and stayed in 6th, which is really good as well for him.
Yeah, so that once the field does cleanse, that should put him in 2nd position, no problem at all. We'll have ourselves a replay here. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, okay.
I think that might have been the best option at that point. I'm not sure, maybe hardware failure or something there to make him just stop and pull off to the side. But that was an almost very dangerous rejoin. That could have taken out that Porsche, so might want to take it a bit more carefully for that.
Look kind of weird though. Yeah. It's strange.
That's why I think there might have been a little bit of hardware failure, especially with the return to pits straight after something going on.
It's Holmes at the moment, currently in 11th position, but he should move up. He might not move up actually. I'm just looking at the leaderboard here. So we'll keep an eye. Yeah, he might. Wait till
It's come out in 3rd place, so he's not really lost any time either. So, and McNeil and Comboy still have to pit, and so he's clear ahead. And then once all those 4 pit, Allison will, as you said, pit 2nd. So I'm interested to see if Vettiger will move up, will make up those 12 seconds behind Allison to kind of move up to 3rd again.
Murphy's in. Oh, that Mustang. Yep, that's one way to take that corner.
That could land you a track limits warning, which you don't want. I've had a track limits warning from that point once before.
Speaking of track limits warning, I don't think we've had a drive-through.
No, we haven't even had a stop go. I think they've seen how clean they've started here, and they've kind of been not as harsh on the penalties as Yellow got. So. Yeah, it could see some clean racing tonight.
I don't think we've seen a speeding in the pit lane. I don't think we've seen track limits. I don't think we've seen pit stop fails really. So
although JC still hasn't pitted yet, so we could be
good point.
Could be on for a pit stop fail anytime now.
Grab your bingos cards, ladies and gentlemen.
JC holding out as long as he can so he can make up as much space as possible between him and the and whoever he's trying to beat at the moment with his 15-second penalty.
He's got a replay here. This is Brimblecombe and that's right.
That's what happens when the tyres start to die. The Mustang there obviously lost a bit of that traction and just came across into Brimble. Was that Brimblecombe in the Ferrari?
It was Brimblecombe in the Ferrari.
Yeah, came across into Brimblecombe and just, not a great spot you want to be in right there.
Racing room. Here's Murphy in the tea cozy. All I've seen from that Porsche in Murphy is every corner he goes through, you just watch the front wheels. Yep, opposite lock here, opposite lock there. That's what
he.
Oh
he
wow!
That felt like he's drifting hard. That was the first time I've seen him take a corner without going opposite lock. I'm really hoping for a clean pit from JC though.
I think we all are.
Race, so there's always hope for him.
A slight little boo-boo with that 15-second penalty, but other than that, he's been quick. He's made positions. He's drove well. So let's all fingers crossed. Pray he has a nice clean pit stop. Here's Lele currently 11th position, 10th position now. Solid race. McNeil comes out in 11th.
Venegar is in 4th already, which means that he will take 3rd once JC does pit, meaning we've probably, unless an incident happens, we've probably got our top 3 set in stone. I believe, is that a 12-second lead for Vedica on Thistlewaite at the moment? Am I
4
reading that
seconds.
right? 4 second, I'm reading that wrong. That's Vedica's got a 12 seconds behind Alice. My bad.
But
Still
Vedica's-
learning the whole leaderboard.
Vedica's definitely opening up there. All right, here's the crucial pit stop of the race. JC is in.
He took that very cautiously to make sure he didn't get that speeding in pit lane start there. But let's hope he keeps his pit limiter on so he doesn't go speeding out of his pit box.
Sure, he stops in his pit box. Oh, I see no reverse, so that's a positive side.
This might be the cleanest pit I've ever seen him do.
Long stop.
That's
15 seconds. He's got 15 seconds to serve, of course. Oh, he's out. So pit limiter is on. Hold your breath, everyone.
There is a chance he could come out in the top 10.
He's done it. He's done it.
He has done it. That is a great stop by JC, especially with the penalty as well. That's a great stop.
It's put him in 9th position. Fantastic. Well done, good sir.
I'm proud. I'm a proud learner from JC's learning.
We just jinxed it. Lewis has got to drive through.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay, and he's already
right
drifting, showing off.
So our timer has clicked over, so it is Matthew Lamb out in front by 4.3 seconds. Ellis in second, Vediger in third, Thistlewaite in fourth, Reynolds in fifth, who's got a 10-second invoice. Begg, Holmes, Burton, Comboy and Lele are your top 10, with McNeil and Murphy just sitting outside the 10. Ellis is your Pro-Am leader. I don't believe that. But here comes Matthew Lamb, another absolute masterclass. The guy just does not have to lose. Ellis in second, great drive from Ellis, fantastic drive. My drive of the day. He has put in a beautiful performance. And we're now just got to wait for Vediger. Here he comes in the Coke Zero machine. Great drive. Third position. Fantastic. Here comes Thistlewaite. Another awesome drive from Thistlewaite as well. He'll be stoked with that. Reynolds in fifth, but we'll see that moment. Drop him down. Begg there should overtake Reynolds. And here comes JC in ninth position. Look at him. He's happy as Larry. Lele will finish in 10th. Then McNeil, Murphy, McCullough should be crossing the line all very soon. There we go. Walsh, Horsburgh, McDowell, Muddle, Sweeney, Slade, Johnson, McLaughlin, Lewis and Monks should be at 22 or 23. And we've got a bit of a battle here. We've got Lewis at the moment. Now he's carrying a drive-through and the race is finished. So you most likely will cop a pen post-race. Unless we can't serve it on the last lap. So definitely a pen coming for Steve Lewis there. He's got Monks right behind him. So nice little Mustang battle. Oh, 2 Ferraris as well. Ford versus Ferrari. Here we go. It's Le Mans 1969. Yeah, 68, 69 all over again. As they cross the line, Lewis now gets his 45-second penalty. Thank you very much.
I'm going to assume the stewards are going to be a lot happier with this race because from my outlook, it looked a lot cleaner and a lot better than what we've had in that first round and from Split Yellow. So I'm very happy with that race. There might have been a couple of incidents, which will get the stewards maybe a little bit onto them, but for the most part, that was really clean. And I enjoyed the racing there as we see Matt Lamb in the Porsche doing his in-lap, doing some cool drifts around the corners.
Great race from Matthew Lamb. It's good to have him back. Definitely personal favourite of mine. Love the way he goes about his business. But that is Split Blue round 2 from Barcelona. run and done for the Simrigs.com OOR Sprint Series. Of course, if you are an OOR Patreon, make sure you do check out Simrigs.com for a 5% discount as we got our race results. It is Matthew Lamb from Alice Vediga Thistleweight. Our silver class is Alice Comboy and McNeil. Our pro-ams are Burton, Lele and McLaughlin. And that is all she wrote.
That was beautiful.
Oh, hang on. There we go. And there's our Am Kung in the McLaren. It's always nice when you're the other Am. You're like, yep, I'm going to win this.
That's a class win in my eyes.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, that was great. I'm very happy with that session. A lot less chaotic than last week for my first sprint race to watch. But yeah, that was great.
Definitely was. And most importantly, thank you, Jade. No, it's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed your evening. I just want to hear your driver of the day.
My driver of the day, I'm actually going to have to put it on Comboy. I gave him a little curse early on, but after the 15-second penalty and everything, to still come out in the top 10, pushing that GTR around like crazy was awesome. Was great. If I was to chuck another one on, it would probably be Matt Lamb with that amazing finish and win. It was a great race all around, but yeah, JC would definitely be my driver of the day.
Definitely a good drive from JC. Alice for mine. I thought Alice drove magnificently. To keep Matthew Lamb honest like that, fantastic drive. But we will take a short break and come back for the one and only Split Red. Welcome back, everyone, and here we are back at Barcelona for round 2 of the OOR Simrigs.com Sprint Series. This is the one and only Split Red. I am Sean Malone once again, bringing you all the action, and joining me in the box is the one and only Tom Maloney. How are you, mate?
Very, very good, Sean. Good to be back here after last week, hopefully for some pretty entertaining racing around this Spanish hellhole with the temperatures we've got set up for this week. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, Split Red is absolutely stacked to the rafters with talent. So, going to be a very interesting race. And we did see some, not carnage last week, but some very interesting moves. But we'll keep an eye on that as free practice is just about to tick over to qualifying. There's Pete Chums in an absolutely gorgeous Lamborghini. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, from a great race, a perfect pit stop as well. It's the one and only Jamie Conboy. How are you?
It's always the bloody pit stops that get me, and I'm so glad we just got one out of the way, nice and clean. Thank you for the encouragement, Muller. Much appreciated. Yeah, pretty happy with that race, other than the little boop that I gave someone on the in the opening laps, which probably cost me a podium there at the end. I'm not sure exactly where I was going to come out, but I was chasing around Cam Thistlethwaite in P3 with a couple of laps to go, so without the penalty it was probably a podium. But anyway, it is what it is, and lots of fun. What a car. Nissan GTR, ladies and gentlemen. Go and get yourself one, because that is a proper car.
Underbopped.
We also
Slightly
saw the Drift
underbopped.
Nationals, Drift Nationals as well.
Youth Nationals?
Drift Nationals.
Oh, Drift Nationals. Did you see that? What a great
yeah.
car. Oh, so good, honestly. Yeah, it was TC off for the last lap, and then sort of had a bit of fun on the, what would you call it, the in lap, or yeah, on the lap after the race. Yeah, just a bit of fun. Just get it. It's so easy to get out, and it's happy to stay sideways, unlike other cars which sort of, you know, they sort of dip like a pendulum and spin on a dime. The GTR's very happy to sit sideways in second and third gear, so it's just fun for so many reasons. Speaking of drifting, how about Keckers here having a little go on the pit lane? What are we doing, by the way? Qualifying is underway and everyone's sitting in the pit lane. Have I missed something?
My understanding is there's an issue with the BOP. Lucas Keys, in his infinite wisdom, decided to take the Lexus this season, and it hasn't had BOP applied. So I think they're working to fix that. They should just ban the car, to be honest. It's stupid. It shouldn't exist.
That's a very good point. It's his fault for choosing the Lexus, and he's the only one in it.
It is all Lucas's fault. And chat,
right.
just make sure you just ram it home that it is Lucas's fault.
So can we get a hashtag ban the Lexus, please, everyone?
Tell you what, there was a couple of drivers who took the Lexus, wasn't there? There was 3 or 4, maybe 5 or so, and there's literally only one left after
Most
one
of them
round.
tried to get out of it after one round.
So I don't know. Is there an update? Were they allowed to? Were they?
No, they weren't. They were told to suck it up for the first half of the season.
So they've got 4 rounds of the Japanese merry-go-round to go, and that's pretty funny to me.
We're going
probably
now,
on
though.
3 to go. We've got one more. We've done round 1, but 3 to go. That's have fun with that, boys. What a car, Lexus. But none of that. None of that.
Stupid car.
So qualifying is underway. 15-minute session in some pretty warm temperatures, and we're looking at the one and only Pete Chalmers in that absolutely magnificent green Lamborghini. What a livery that is. That is, just chef's kiss. Great stuff there. So, gentlemen, thoughts on the race? Thoughts? What do you reckon we're going to see this evening?
We're going to see more people running for 55 minutes and just trundling around, hoping their tyres don't scream enough. I reckon the pit early strat was proven to be pretty flawed last night, unfortunately. We've sort of taken that mystery out, but I reckon it's just going to be, there might be sort of 1 or 2 cars trying an undercut if they can get some gap, but yeah, I reckon it's going to be everyone pits in the absolute last possible moment.
Yeah, I think so myself. We did see in the last race, though, Split Blue that Vediga did come in at that 20-minute mark, which kind of worked out pretty well for him, which he gapped Thistlethwaite there. So maybe 1 or 2 drivers will try that, but I think you're right. I think they want to leave it to the last minute and then try and hold on their tyres. And as Stang here is actually behind Chalmers, so he's going to back right up here. Stang's pretty quick in that Ferrari, and he's going to let Pete head off into the distance, and he's going to be our first one to start his flyer as we head down this ridiculously long straight. Not the Lamborghini strong suit, as we've mentioned many times.
At least you get to listen to Lamborghini though for a whole straight. I think
That's a good one.
he's got that tucked in nicely for turn 1. Takes plenty of curb through turn 2. Keeps it tight all the way into turn 3. Has to hang on the throttle a little bit. Doesn't quite get that thing flat down. Leaves a bit of room on the outside of the corner, but this lap's underway. It tends to be lap sort of 2 or 3's your really go lap. So this will be a nice little banker for Pete Chalmers. We'll wait to sort of see what the first benchmark that he manages to put down is. And Chris Sang has left a plenty big gap behind him. But so far, this has been a pretty clean lap from Pete Chalmers. Nothing too wild to speak of.
Very neat. Beautiful through there. Lovely through the chicane. Probably the easiest place to get a track cut through there. Now through this absolutely magnificent corner where it camps up. And then another little short straight. And probably the trickiest braking zone is coming right up here. You just want to brake just before that 100-metre board. Get the nose in. And then run it out as wide as you like. But again, don't run it too wide. And flick it through here. Corner that goes on for bloody ever. And then this stupid section coming up. See,
I'm so glad F1 got rid of this. So glad F1 got rid of this.
It ruins the whole track. Like, the track flows so good, then you get to there and it's like, what's this? But that was a nice, tidy lap there from Chalmers, and a great onboard as well. And he goes top of the timesheets there with a 45 as Sang drops in a 43.7. And Houlihan, welcome back. Look at that, 0.57. So there's absolutely nothing in it. This is turning into a ripper qualifying session early on.
Is that the Ryan Houlihan? It is too.
It is.
Yeah. Holy dooly, he's back.
Super sub for Zach Smith, who's not turning up this week, unfortunately. I say super sub, you can give it the rest of the team. But
I was going to say, is he actually substituting? I've never heard of that in Sprint Series. No, that's cool. Good to have Houlihan back. That's a very fast and very experienced driver, as our Houlihan, currently up in P2 at the moment. So if you've never heard of him, you're going to know his name tonight. He's a very fast boy. So welcome back, Hooly Dolly.
Chris Keeley's tucked himself in less than a tenth behind Sang as well. Ben Floyd as well, another long-term name right up there in the timesheets. 3/10 off. JP Sonicus is the exact same time as Ben Floyd. Literally never happens.
Literally never happens.
Except every session. And Shady Samuel just behind as well. So pretty tight little start to qualifying here. We'll let the guys go through on their second lap. As you can see, Houlihan finding a couple of tenths already. So leaderboard to shake up over the next couple of minutes as everyone sort of settles in, get those tyres nice and warm, and get themselves around the track.
This is very close because Sang's up on his lap as well. So once again, they cannot separate these two. I think they're going to improve their times, but it's going to be very tight to see if Houlihan can actually take over. Oh, Sang was lovely through there. Gained a, look at that, 4/10. That was an absolutely beautiful through the chicane. Lovely line, runs it out wide. Lost a little bit of time there on the exit, but should be okay. He goes in with a 43.4, and now Houlihan. Oh, look at that.
Wow. Both Sang and Houlihan, both SRO esports drivers, well and truly knowing the way around this track. Chris Keeley also finding another 2 or 3 tenths, so, and he goes very wide on the exit of the fourth last corner. That'll invalidate his lap. Shady Samuel to find a quarter of a second, loses a bit on the exit of the chicane, but he gets a nice tow from the Lambo in front, puts himself up to P5, still half a second off the pace. So you anticipate he's still got a little bit of time to find.
Well, you'd hope so. Here he is. Oh, look, it's the one and only John Sneakers in that Mustang. Again, I love the Mustang. I think it's a cool car, but it's ridiculously overpowered. But currently in third position, so this is a fantastic qualified here. The Mustang apparently is pretty good around here, except it does use its tyres a little bit. Not surprising when it's got 850,000 horsepower. Lovely through there. Oh, and that's a sign that didn't need to be had.
Lovely through there, he says, as he takes the suboptimal line through the boards.
So I just want to start a bit of beef in chat. So John Sonicus did not know what chicken salt was.
Oh.
Never heard of it.
No, yeah. I don't know whether that's because that's chicken salt being an Australian thing. I thought chicken salt was kind of worldwide.
Apparently not.
It was invented in Australia, I know that. But yeah, chicken salt on chips. Chicken
salt on anything.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
No,
chicken salt on steamed dim sims.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'll try
one.
anything once. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Like chicken salt on fried dim sims kind of makes sense, but on steamed dim sims, you didn't get that mixed up. You're recommending that.
I am recommending that. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'm gonna go have a go. I'm gonna go with that. That's That's an interesting one. Definitely a new one, Thomas.
Absolutely, and bring a little shaker of chicken salt with you to the footy is all I can say, because it just makes every single meal you buy at the footy better. As Lucas Keys and David Bartlett, we're here with John Sonicus now, who's got just under 4/10 to find, and he's not finding it on this lap, but I think this is he still warming up, or is he recovering after his awful turn 9 on the last lap?
I dare say probably recovering. Yep,
That's
well, that
invalid.
doesn't matter anyway. Kumar in chat says, never heard of chicken salt in India, only discovered it in Australia. Okay.
But Harsh, how much better was your life knowing that you now know what chicken salt is?
As we're seeing in chat, a lot of love for the chicken salt. Now, you were mentioning there, take some to the footy and makes everything taste better. Well, the way acid has been going this season, anything to make anything better is what we need. So, as we
I wasn't going to bring it up.
I'm such a fair weather supporter. I haven't been to see a single loss this season other than the Carlton match that I took all the girls to. But since that loss to Carlton, I just haven't gone to a single game knowing that we're about to plummet. Sure enough, so you won't see me at the footy again this season. I'm fair weather. But I tell you what, start of next season, we'll be on the Ferris wheel back at the top. The lid will be off again. I'll be at every game until about round 12 is when we start to fall off.
Yeah, after the bye. You can run, you can set your clock to it. As we are looking at Lucas Keys and that absolutely abomination of a thing. But look at this lap here. He's 0.6 up on his best lap, so this is a really nice lap at the moment. He comes through now, sector 3. Nice through there.
Shady's looked after him. One more chicane to go. That last corner is not really a corner in qualifying. That is an absolute mess at the start of the chicane. Can he keep it valid? Yes, he can. It's not going to be enough to topple the top. He's got a couple more chances to go. This will put him up in the top 3, you'd have to think. But there's plenty more in that. Come on, Lucas, you're better than that.
He'll figure it out. He's got plenty of time yet.
4 minutes 50 remaining.
Dave Bartlett currently winning the Pro-Am qualifying battle in the boat league. Carl Johnson nipping at his heels, less than half a tenth between the two of them. And we'll see if Dave Bartlett can find a bit more time. He's come out with some traffic in front of him. Brad Palmer to the top of the Pro-Am timesheet. And Mike Crick to the top of the Pro-Am timesheet. Sorry, the silver timesheets I was mentioning before. Mike Crick to the top. That is a very good result for Cricky.
Yeah, that's very handy. P13 overall too. That's a very good sign. Hopefully he can turn that into a good result. I don't know how many top 10s that man's ever got, but I can imagine you'd count him on one hand, and that's no disrespect to him, but he's never really that close to the top. So if he can sneak a little top 10 tonight, what a play result that'd be for Cricky.
Good to see him comfortable in the car and having a bit of fun. Sam O'Brien coming around to start a new lap. This isn't going to improve, but he's also leading the AM timesheet, just a little bit behind Ramez Samuel. We come back to JP Sonicus in the wonderfully liveried Bentley. Nothing on that car is out of place. And he's finding a little bit of time. There's half a second to find, but he's doing all the right things so far.
Wasn't overly confident for tonight. He is leading the championship currently, but definitely not confident for a top 3 result. He feels like maybe the boat was just not suited around here.
Doesn't seem like a track that would suit a Boschman car, does it? You'd like a mid-engined, everything in a very small package kind of thing, whereas the boat's about twice the size of the McLaren. So
something's like weird. This should move him up the leaderboard quite a bit. Rather just in front of him. But it does sound dangerous. I will give the boat that. It does sound absolutely dangerous. Actually, this is turning a very good line. 0.3 up now. Can he just get this chicane right? Tip the nose in. Clip both apexes. He's only half a second up. This JP has absolutely lit the fuse on the Bentley. Runs it out nice and wide. And this is P3? Yes, thank you very much. Great lap.
Brad Palmer snuck himself in front of Corey Sweet up to P9. And that's not a particularly good exit out of turn 5 there, but he's still up a little bit. Still got half lap to find. Still probably got a lap after this as well if he's got the fuel. So he's finding time in every corner as long as he can find the apex. We'll see if he can manage to make it through the rest of this lap as well. Corey Sweet puts himself back in front. Restores the pro to silver. A little hierarchy that's going on there.
All things in life are perfectly balanced. There's all ahead. That gap is absolutely nothing in it. Still 0.028. Also known as sweet bugger all.
Not got much to find, but he's also got a fair amount of traffic in front of him, so he's going to back out of this one and give himself one last go. Ben Floyd is coming around. I think that was turn 4 there. Yep, turn 4 coming to turn 5. He's found a tenth of a second. He needs a fair bit of time to jump ahead of John Sonicus up into P7. There's a pretty close little gaggle P5 to P7 there. So if you can find some more time through sectors 2 and 3, then he'll be laughing. But at the moment, needs to probably find double what he's got at the moment. Corey Sweet also needing to find a fair chunk of time to get ahead of A, his teammate, but B, the fourth rider. That's 4 Mustangs in a row. That's disgusting.
Yes, very much so. Comes through final sector now. Just the final chicane to go. Ooh, takes a lot of curve there, and a lot of curve there as well. Bad sausage. That will put a pay to that lap.
Speaking of finding plenty of time.
Oh, that was nice. A little bit, yeah, lost a little bit there though.
Probably a bit safe, wasn't it? But he's lost about a tenth. Lucas Keys currently, he's got a tenth and a half coming through turn 3 now. So we'll see if he can hold on to that for the rest of that. If he can hold on to that for the rest of the lap, that'll be a front row. Chris Sang has found another tenth as well. He's put himself a tenth and a half ahead of Ryan Houlihan. JP Sonicus has put the Q in the rack. So Shady Samuel in P6. So's Ben Floyd in P8. So Lucas Keys, Chris Cooley and Houlihan still to find a little bit of time to shuffle this grid around.
To jump on board with Lucas Keys now. And the Waxes up through this pretty nice chicane. I don't mind this part of the track. Again, he's just hovering around that 0.1, 0.2. Now through easily the best corner on the track. Runs it nice and wide. Gets, again, just finding tenths. Not much at all. He's got to nail sector 3. If he can nail sector 3, he's definitely a chance for a front row. It does depend on what Houlihan's put the Q in the rack as well, so he's done. Oh, oversteer. Wow.
Goodness gracious, look at that. Chop, chop, chop. No, Chop King. And he got in the sand there too, and apparently that's gained him time. Excuse me, did you see that? Just went wide there, and he's put it in the sand and gained time.
Oh, no, he's lost time out of the chicane now. This will put him on the front row still. It's a good lap, but it's not quite enough to bump Chris Sang off. Everyone else queuing the rack. Lucas Keys up to P2, just a tenth behind Chris Sang.
He had it too until that chicane. He was probably looking at pole there.
Sets up an interesting race though.
6 different cars in the top 6. You love to see it.
BOP works, man. We all suck about it, but it's working. It's doing its job. Everyone's in different cars and enjoying themselves, and 6 manufacturers in the top 6 are qualifying. Good to see. There's a big chunk of forwards there. Look at that.
Yeah, it's...
John Senekis, the fastest of the 4. Where is Sang? Can't see him on the leaderboard. Is this his first race of the season? Or?
Yeah, he didn't race last week.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Just quickly, our championship, it is JP Sonicus in first, Lucas Keys there in second, Zachary Smith, who was missing this round, in third, Chris Cooley in fourth, and John Sonicus there in fifth. Carl Johnson is the top of our silver drivers, and Scotty Rochford is our leader in Pro-Am, and our leader in Am is Robert Brickley, currently at the moment, as we swing down the grid and look at these fantastic liveries. Oh, geez, I like that, Merc.
Yeah, German flag on a Merc always goes pretty well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That is Ramez Samuel in Three Pyramids Racing. Shout out to his Egyptian heritage. That Porsche livery is pretty cool too.
The Atlanta one, yep. Oh. Thank you. Yeah, that's. Mwah.
Harsh asking, will red beat spit yellow? In what context, Harsh? Is that in penalties, in content, in pace? What's the context there?
Oh, the abomination. There it is.
That's a good abomination. That's a very good abomination. Pete Chalmers in the cell-shaded Borderlands-inspired Lamborghini. It's such a small car next to the Mustang.
Yeah. They are huge, those things, aren't they?
You wouldn't think they were the same class of car.
Hey, was that a second Pixel Racer car? Whoa, Boxy's racing. I completely forgot
Boxy's
about that.
racing.
There he is. Welcome back to Paul Boxall, who's had a couple of seasons off. He's just slipped himself there into P23. That's a complete guess. I have no idea where he is, but that's a bloody good effort. There he is. Welcome back, Boxy.
Welcome back, Boxy.
There's Tarks. Good looking grid, this. Split red, probably the best looking grid overall in terms of liveries.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
Maybe we're a little biased. But no, I think these are some very nice, high-quality liveries on this grid.
There's a fruit bowl livery.
Yeah, that's the dad's BMW.
Well, that red and black Porsche, that's a tribute to the dynamic Porsche that raced at Nürburgring, I'm pretty sure. Here we go, 1 hour race. Standard operating procedure, mandatory stop, of course. No fuel requirements, so just the old minimum fuel strap. Make sure you put 3 litres in every driver, please, so we don't get any bugs. And they all head away now on the formation line.
Everyone's finally managed to get going. It's one of those formations, that's where everyone just takes a little while to get going. We're going to get some little camera adjustments here as the drone takes off in chase of Chris saying, decided, no, bugger that, we'll pass off to another camera. Everyone's playing stack as many cars into the smallest part of the track as you can. Always a funny thing to do in LFM races when it's a random German you've never heard of. It's going to get annoyed if you're sticking your car in there. But
Sounds like someone is speaking from experience.
no, never. Especially not a streamer that you know is getting annoyed at you and you can watch their stream and watch early meltdown.
Who doesn't love melts?
And any predictions for the start here? That Ferrari is known for not being the fastest thing in a straight line. The Lexus is known for being one of the fastest things in a straight line. What's our predictions for turn 1 here, boys? Anything interesting beyond just a couple of cars expressing their dominance in a straight line?
Mustangs, that gaggle of Mustangs behind, keep an eye on that. They are going to go 3 or 4 wide for sure. And look at that, yeah, the 4 Mustangs right behind Curly there. That's going to be very interesting because the Aston's another one, not great off the line. Takes a while to spool that turbo up.
Harsh Kumar going for the before T1 content prediction. We probably don't want 12 metres like the first split yesterday, but...
That was minus 12 metres yesterday. That was unbelievable.
yeah.
We don't think they haven't even got to the start-finish line, those cars that were involved in that accident. Like, it was honestly, as soon as it went green, that kicked off. So those guys hadn't even made it yet. Unreal. We don't want any of that tonight, please. Might be a little bit of an issue here with the cars lining up. I think someone's not quite got that right. No, they're sorting. Yeah, there's a couple of gaps there. Yeah, okay, all right, sorted out there.
Everyone's just working at it.
I thought I counted 3 or 4 rows and then a single car, and it looks like, again, Cooley's not quite getting there. Yeah, tucked it up, and then everyone else is going to fall in behind. Yeah, they're getting there. Not too bad.
That chicane makes it pretty tough, doesn't it?
Certainly does.
It does. Yeah.
Here we go. Barcelona, split red, split blood. Chris Sang hanging out in the middle of the track. Lucas Keys on the outside for T1, and we're green. Lucas Keys has absolutely got the jump from Chris Sang, and even Ryan Houlihan's got the jump from Chris Sang. JP Sonicus follows the toe from Lucas Keys. He's going to try and get past the ball. Clearly gets past Chris Sang. Lucas Keys going to hang around the outside of T1. Chris Sang hangs on to P3. Everyone through reasonably cleanly. No, they're not. That is a Lexus fun round. That is a McLaren fun round. We'll wait.
I was going to say, JP, what a start.
That's the safety car. We are all backing off for a restart at the end of this lap. That was, at the front, that was very, very clean, but it started to kick off a little bit towards mid-pack. We'll wait to sort of see who got murdered there, but at the moment, we're going to restart the race at the end of this lap or next lap.
No safety cars in split blue tonight, by the way. Setting the standard.
You tried your best.
No, none of that. I knew we would have a good start. That was nothing to do with cursing. We are the best and cleanest split in OR split blue. Yeah, that wasn't too bad, that start either here in split red. It was pretty innocuous, the incidents that happened. But as you said, Sean, this start from Peach, very clever. Getting tucked into the Lexus slipstream and Sang, unfortunately, just not having a good start at all. And as soon as Peach knew that he was clear, he moved over to cover off anyone else who might be diving. Sang got a little bit, I think he might have just cut the nose off Hooly Dooly there. I'll get a different angle of that. But at first glance, it looked like Hooly had to give him a fair bit of space. And then, yeah, it was a pretty innocuous incident back in the field that kicked all that off. But of course, once one goes around, there's generally going to be two or three that find their way around as well. So good safety car called, give everyone a chance to catch themselves up, and we will go again.
Yeah, good luck getting past that Bentley on the front straight here. Chris Sang has kept P2. Lucas Keys down to P3 after taking the lead off the start. Ryan Houlihan P4 has got Chris Cooley right on his tail. That Aston's pretty quick in a straight line once the turbo gets moving. He's going to have a look down the inside and think better of it. And John Sonicus looks on behind, hoping to take advantage of anything, but those front seven have absolutely flown away. Corey Sweet already at 1.5 seconds behind, leading that secondary pack off. We've got a couple of cars already in the pit lane, and Chris Cooley is going to sit all over the back of Ryan Houlihan on his return to sprint.
So this top seven is all very quick operators. I'm just going to keep an eye on also those two Mustangs just lurking in the background, John Sonicus and Floyd. Because once we get to that main straight, they will come into their own. As we're looking at Sang here, working on the back of Peach. But a great start from Peach. Took the opportunity and absolutely seized it with both hands. But Sang's going to make him sweat for this.
Absolutely. Shady Samuel, the key front runner who's gone for the pit lap 1 strat. And we saw Taufik Moyen went for that strat last night and got a little bit stuck in traffic. So Shady's obviously in the Mustang, which is a little bit faster in a straight line, so he might have an easier time of it, but I think that'll be a really good little indicator as to sort of how that strat's going to go. Any other sort of really interesting climbers up and down the field? I can't sort of see too extra. Paul Boxall, P16.
That was bloody deep from Sang, sorry about that, but he just nearly got up the back of Page there, who would have been very 44 about it. He managed to keep it out of there, Sang, and he's just managed to hang on, but crikey, that was close.
Here comes Lucas in that Lexus, very quick, Sang, I don't think he's got much for it. And Lucas is going to slide this straight out the inside, but Sang is going to go super deep. Oh, but Lucas gets it done. Oh, good move. That's as tight as you like, but racing room given. And now, look at that, Sang's got Houlihan right behind him. Cooley's there as well. This is a great battle. 4 of absolute the best drivers in OOR, absolutely throwing haymakers at each other. Split round.
Cooley, have a look around the outside of Houlihan. There's not much you can do around turn 4 there, but these 4 cars are still going to go hammer at it. Houlihan has to go a little bit defensive to protect from the Aston Martin. That'll allow Sang a little bit of breathing room, but that Lexus just isn't quite as fast through sort of those really sort of high-speed corners, and it's managed to sort of keep Sang a little bit in check, and by the same token, Houlihan in check, and also Chris Cooley staying all over the back of Lucas Keys through turn 9 here. This battle's going to keep going on, and I'm just going to let JP Sonicus fly away at the front.
Oh, Sang now up the inside, gets it done. Lovely move.
Lucas hang around to the outside. Nah.
Didn't think he was going to give up that easy, but the Ferrari just got a very nice run out of the hairpin there and really didn't give Lucas much choice other than to back out of that one.
It's amazing what downforce does.
Are you suggesting the Lexus doesn't have downforce?
It's got the downforce of 950s Formula 1.
We'll see what we've got a replay here of turn 1. That is, we're focused on Mike Crick, who does turn around that Bentley and also turns around Mitch Bendyke there as well. That is, I struggle to attribute fault based off that. It looked like just some turn 1 things, to be honest, but we might be lucky for our resident broadcaster Ben Hignett to show us a couple more angles if he's got the time. It'd be pretty nice to do that following this round.
It's looking pretty good, but Cricky, I felt like got squeezed from one side and then pushed in on the other side. So 3 wide just really doesn't work in a turn 1 sometimes. And I think I'm with you, Tom. Probably a racing incident, hopefully, but again, maybe a little bias coming out there. Stewards will do their job astutely, I'm sure.
Back to this absolute great battle here between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Sang's just opening a little gap on Keys here. He's got the head down, trying to head off after Peach. Lucas has sort of got Houlihan a little bit, but there's nothing there at all. You can throw a blanket over this. Here we go. Replay at the start. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, turn 1 stuff, I reckon.
I think so.
3 cars into 1 corner, there's not much you can do about it.
And I said keep an eye on those Mustangs. They're just lurking.
Oh, Kekas has a bit of a run here. Oh, just took too much in the curb, and even if he got it right, the outside of that corner there's not got a lot of grip in it, so Hooley was probably going to hang on, but he's definitely having a little look. Here's Cooley. Cooley and Hooley having a little bit of a Hooley-dooly.
Oh, very good. Very good. That's the prime commentary that you get in split there.
That's what they pay me the big bucks for.
You're getting paid?
You guys are getting paid?
What's going on there?
Out in front, JP Sonicus, 1.5 seconds over Chris Sang, who's got the purple lap. Lucas Keys still within a second of Chris Sang, but that gap is starting to get a bit beyond a toe, you'd have to say. So at this point now, Lucas will have to start thinking about, rather than launching an attack on Chris Sang, having to think about Ryan Houlihan behind. And if that were to go alright, it's not going to be pretty for Lucas, because not just Chris Cooley, but John Sonicus, Ben Floyd will also be having a look, and then Corey Sweet just keeping his nose clean, a couple of seconds behind there, and then a bit more gap to Ramon Samuel. But be very interesting to sort of see. These guys have been battling, these guys have been thinking about it, these guys have been doing a lot. Katie Samuel still kind of in clear air. Be very interesting to sort of see if the traffic looks after Shady, where he ends up given all this battling going on.
What car would you rather be in for these sort of top 4 or 5? Is there a preferred option? Well, okay. Besides the obvious choice, out of the top 4 or 5, which car would you, I don't know, JC? I'll throw it to you. Which one would you rather be in?
Ask the question again. Sorry, I was predisposed.
Oh, sorry about that. Out of the top 4 or 5 mates, so we've got a Bentley, Ferrari, McLaren, Aston, Ford. Which one
is very comfortably the car I'd be in out of those ones.
Will we get some Lucas Keys back bumper very well?
Ferrari's super strong here, even with the balance of power. Ferrari's just so nice to drive around here. The McLaren probably a close second. But the Ferrari's just such a weapon around here. Without the bop, the Ferrari's incredible to drive around here. It's actually one of my favourite combos. But with the balance of power, it does really copper hiding, especially down the straight. So the McLaren's probably a close second, but yeah, the Ferrari is a dream to drive around here. That is a new livery for Annie. What's he got on there? That's very bright.
Keeping the purple. He's a recent convert to the McLaren. After a couple of seasons in the Lamborghini is Scott Rochford. And he is giving Brad Palmer absolute pain as Rob Brickley cops a drive-through penalty for his efforts. We've got car 101 around at turn 2. So things are starting to kick off a little bit. We've got Houlihan still, these 3 cars line astern. still a fair bit going on as we're past the 10-minute mark of this race.
Definitely is quite a bit. That gap between Peach and Sang is coming down. Just visually, it looks like it is coming down a little bit. So, and Houlihan's just working on the back of Lucas here, giving him a thorough examination. That McLaren does look very nice, though. It's just the way it goes through corners. I am a fan of the McLaren. Just a good car to drive, especially around certain tracks. It feels amazing. So, just waiting. It's a fun fact, actually. During the week, I was bored and trying to get my legs back for racing. I took pretty much every new generation car around the Nürburgring and the Nordschleife just to find out what's what. And the McLaren was probably my top 3, so did enjoy it. A bit deathly, but good fun.
I wouldn't think that going around the Nordschleife would be your kind of thing while you're bored, Sean. That doesn't sound like you.
No.
I think Hooley's going to find that trying to get past that Lexus in a straight line is going to be an absolute pain in the backside. Because it is quick, and he's going to have to try something a little bit creative. You'd have to think John Sonicker's just sitting around doing his own thing, protecting his tyres. And we're going to follow Dave Bartlett now, who's just behind Ramez Samuel, who's had a very good clean start up to P9 and just running his own race, not having to think about defending too hard. David Bartlett, you can rely on him to do the right thing behind you. And Carl Johnson just waiting for these two to come to blows as well. A couple of little battle packs here, just sort of 3 or 4 cars line astern at this track where it's pretty hard to pass.
Kind of in that position now where they're kind of waiting for who's going to blink first. That's what I feel like. Because, yeah, hard to pass. It's only impossible to pass, especially when you've got a car like the Lexus in front of you. Because it's just got to keep it nice and tidy through these corners, and then once it gets to that straight, it's just not going to happen.
On.
So, but pressure does
think
funny thing.
Things really closed up on the back of Page as well, but Lucas has really sort of started to drop back from Sang as well. So I think maybe the older car model in the Lexus starting to wear its tyres a bit more, and Ryan Houlihan just under 4 tenths behind him. That's not enough to make it pass, but you can definitely tell that Lucas starting to lose touch with those front two, and this is starting to be a battle for the bottom step of the podium between Keys, Houlihan and Cooley. We're not even a quarter of the way through this race, plenty to go, and I think if we're waiting for people to blink first, it'll be a long wait with some dry eyes, because there'll be some people intending to pit at the absolute last possible moment.
I think that'd be almost everyone inside the top 20. Now that that's the benefit of being in split red, is these guys get to watch the other 3 splits and really get to hammer out what is the optimal strat each week. So now that they've seen it is just go as long as you can and get that splash and dash done at the end, you would suggest that most of the top 20, and if not further, are all just going to do the same thing. They're all going to tuck in, get in some slipstream, protect their tyres as much as they can, not get into too many battles, and go long.
Well, that's it. But it's when you pit at the end of the race. That's the key. Come in a lap early if you are stuck in traffic behind. Try and get that undercut if you can, or maybe go for the overcut as well. That's the thing I'm looking forward to. Is there is a move here. Definitely, as Samuel just goes, runs it a little deep though, and Bartlett says, I'll take that back. Thank you very much. So Samuel tried the option. Definitely was a gap there. Ran a little bit deep. The Bentley just struggled to pull up. And it's back to battle number 2.
Yep, and Carl Johnson, P11, watching Samuel and Bartlett go at it and thinking, I'm going to have some of that if you guys come to blows. The field's probably a bit more spread than the rest of the splits to have seen as well. So that'll be coming into these guys' calculations, and I think, can I make an early stop and make that work? It'll be Scott Rochford does indeed go for the early pit stop. He's seen a gap in ACC drive and gone, that's mine, thank you very much. I'm going to go and do something.
For those who don't know, Scotty Rochford is your #1 salesperson and promoter of ACC Drive. He loves it. And it is a great
If you've
team.
got any product feedback as well, he's got a direct line with the developer, so just get onto his ear and he'll make sure it's passed on.
So 44 minutes to go, just saying.
Car 44 leading is in the moment. He's kept that gap with Chris Sang pretty consistent now as JP. Whether the Ferrari is just struggling to sort of get any further into that dirty air, or if they've both sort of settled in and just paying respect to each other's skill and letting it all happen a bit later in the race, we'll all find out in about 3/4 of an hour.
It's a good race. This is very good. It's clean. Especially up the front. It's just everyone's giving each other racing room. We've seen nothing that you sort of go, oh, hold your breath. And so this is great. This is what happens when you get a split with just some benchmark operators like all these gentlemen are. As we are on the back of Ryan Hull at the moment, looking at Keggers.
You can see Keggers really starts to close up that gap at the end of the straight, but he's got to halve that gap at the start of the straight, which in the outer, which takes a little while, and he wags the tail of that thing out of turn 2. That is the hard part, is making sure that gap is as small as possible at the start of the straight so you can do something at the end.
Which means you've got to get the chicane right. That's the key. And then
Has anyone ever got the chicane right though?
Exactly.
The
Did you get the
GTR's
chicane
bloody
right?
nice. Yeah, the GTR's very nice through the chicane. It takes those sausages pretty well, and then it punches out of there in second gear beautifully. I gained a lot of time on a lot of cars, and then of course the Nissan being a weapon down the straight as well, it really wants to get the chicane right. So the fact that the GTA is good at the chicane and then good down the straight makes it a really good race car here.
Fortunately, the lead GTR here currently in P18 for Underwood. I think leading the AM class though, so we haven't seen too much of the GTR this race.
Can I hazard a guess though and suggest that Underwood started from the back? I believe he had a quali ban. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Underwood had a quali ban and he has come from the back. If that's the case,
That's a good effort.
a fucking cracking effort to be up there in P18 already.
A great battle here into Kovac's battle with a pixel racer there. There's Pete Viney in that absolutely magnificent Porsche. I'm glad
There
to
you
see the
go.
light.
Underwood
There you go.
from the back of the grid up into P18 within 20 minutes. That is a huge effort.
Nectar effort.
Leading your class when you start from the back is a mighty effort. So we'll look forward to see what Rob can do going forward. Pete Viney all over the back of very long time friend Pete Chalmers. So we'll sort of see that Porsche hasn't got a huge amount of guts down the straight. Pete Chalmers takes the fourth last corner, very narrow. That's given Pete Viney a chance to get all over the back of that Lamborghini through the chicane. Pete Chalmers gets a pretty good exit. But
Boxy sniffing around here too though. This is a good little battle here. It's quiet.
this is good.
And then Soapy's not far away either. If these three get too involved in each other's business, Soapy's going to come snapping. Big old look up the inside there from Tarks gets Muller interested. Nothing doing, but I'll tell you what, Boxy's right here, and these two holding each other up a little bit. The Kovacs fellas need to sort themselves out because Soapy has really closed the gap here over the first sector, and now this is going to be a four-way battle pretty sure.
Well, they're now 5 seconds off the back of Brad Palmer from P12, so Pete Viney has a real look down the inside of turn 4. Pete Chalmers has absolutely not. Try again in turn 5, but he's a bit too far back for that. So we're going to go through the one-by-one part here. There's not a lot of room to move until we get to probably the back straight.
Watch this though. Wait till, if this Mustang can nail this chicane, watch what happens.
I'm worried for Pete Viney here.
So am I. Because Lucas Keys is going to have a big look at Sang here. Now, Sang's dropped back, so that gap was closing down. It was down to under a second, but Sang has dropped back here, and Lucas Keys is having a big sniff. and he's dropped Houlihan a little bit as well, so it looks like he's coming good again in the overpriced Toyota. As we are, look,
Boxy's getting passed by Sophie Graham. And Zach gets that move very nicely done into turn one. Boxy gives him the respect and probably thinks, you know what? You can have a battle with Pete Viney and I'm going to take both of you a bit later on.
Muller, we were suggesting that the Ford, if it got the chicane right, would be a genuine weapon down the straight, but it looks like he got it all sorts of wrong, because it's not very often you see a Ferrari getting past a Ford on a straight.
definitely not Ford versus Ferrari. Ferrari 1, Ford 0. Back here with Sang and Lucas Keys, and Houlihan just sniffing around there as well. These three have closed right up again. And looks like Cooley's just dropped off the back there as well, so he might be struggling with a bit of rear tyre wear in that Aston Martin. But this battle, look at this. This is turning into an absolute ripper. But
Cody Samuels hit that traffic. He's down there in 23rd, all over the back of blasting the 66 Ferrari. So his dream run of clear air has come to an end. And we'll wait to sort of see when all the rest of the pit stops resolve where he ends up. But at the moment, he's not going to be able to make any progress. Stuck behind that car. But Lucas Keys really just reeling in that Ferrari down the straight. He's going to poke the nose out. Chris Sang defends a little bit. We'll see if that compromises him through T2 and T3. Lucas has definitely got a better run. I think Chris Sang's probably just struggling with tyre wear or something, because he's definitely not got the same pace he had about 5 or 10 minutes ago.
You know, Muller's saying that gap had gone from under a second out to 2.5. Suggestion saying made a mistake, so maybe he has cooked his tyres as Viney gets overtaken by Graham as well. Sophie's put on a display here over the last couple of laps. That's 2 overtakes in course of 2 laps. The box is no longer in picture there, so hopefully he's pitted and hasn't actually driven himself into the wall.
He's got a little white next to his name, which indicates he's in the pit lane receiving service. Lucas got past Chris Sang.
certainly has. Oh no.
No, he hasn't.
No.
Stupid ACC.
Not quite. No, we were just talking about how Sang has dropped off in pace though, so he's trying to get his tyres back in the window at the moment. I would suggest he's made an error somewhere that we didn't see 2 or 3 laps to go, got sideways and has cooked those with Ferrari Pirellis. So now that's why he's coming back under pressure from Lucas, and Hooley's right here too. So this has really come back into a 3-way battle. Saying if he gets a nice exit here, probably still hangs on, but yeah, he's got to try and get the tyres back in the window because he's losing a lot of time in those middle sector corners.
Here we go. That's a big old toe. We'll wait to see if Sang feels like he has to defend. He goes right. Doesn't cover the whole track. Does he go a bit deep? Because he definitely broke a bit later than Lucas Keys. Does a very, very good job of defending that P2. We've got some lap traffic coming up here as well. That'll throw a spanner in the works. I think that's Boxy doing a very good job of just getting the F out of the way. Let these guys do their thing. As all 3 of them get through nice and cleanly. And Chris Sang lives to fight another day in P2.
But what this is doing is letting Peach drive off into the distance. He'll be smiling like a Cheshire cat at the moment because that gap is slightly growing. 2.3 seconds. I reckon after this lap it might be up to about 2.5. So while these guys, it's great they're fighting, they've got to keep an eye on that black and gold Bentley in front because it is starting to drive off into the distance. We've seen before, once JP gets a bit of a gap and he gets into JP mode, he's a very hard man to catch.
A little bit of lap traffic to navigate here. It's a couple of opportunities for them to get out of the way. There's we've got one Lexus who's going to sit there, hopefully give these guys the racing line out of this corner here, and does so. Kind of robs Ryan Houlihan of a bit of a run out of there though. So we'll see if Chris Sang again has to go a bit narrow into the chicane to make sure Lucas doesn't poke his nose in. He's really, really close now. You're going to have to defend. You're going to have to think about, no, not as close as last lap actually, but you're still going to have to think about that. That Lexus is an absolute beast in the straight. Look at him just reel that Ferrari in. Sang goes right. Lucas goes left. They'll go side by side into turn 1. Who's later on the brakes?
Oh,
They do touch. They do touch. And where is Ryan Houlihan? He is...
oh
There he is.
no!
No.
Oh, dear! Oh
dear.
dear! No words.
A little bit of front end damage for Hooley there on the McLaren's not going to help that car behave nicely. So hopefully it wasn't too bad, but he gave him a reasonable boot. Probably 4, 5, 6 seconds of damage on the front of that McLaren, so he will definitely be feeling that over the next half an hour.
Yeah, especially when you want to protect those front tyres as well. Interesting to see what the stewards think of that one. They'll be review it. They've had a pretty quiet day as that McLaren is just... That's a blue flag McLaren as well.
Yeah, that blue flag just didn't know what to do, unfortunately. Like, you feel bad for him. He was just swamped all of a sudden by...
He's gone, do you know what? I'm going to hit all of you, make it equal.
Yeah, very, very good point. Harsh Kumar suggesting that they're very lucky there was no spins there. It could have been much worse. That could have been a race ender for Houlihan or Keys or any one of them, but they all kept it going straight, which is pretty surprising, honestly, with ACC's collision physics being pretty nasty sometimes. That was, yeah, they're all going straight. Good call, Harsh.
Especially when Hooley was disappeared for a little while, so some internet connections coming into play as well. And Bruno Ellis in chat saying Shady Samuel's in some mighty clear air, and indeed he is. He has got the whole back straight to just do whatever the hell he wants, which is drive very, very quickly. Chris saying is, we're going to watch a replay here of Chalmers on the inside of Soapy. There's a bit of a spin there. That's all a little bit messy. Things are starting to kick off halfway through the race.
Certainly are. Now, one thing I want to keep an eye on, because these 3 cars are damaged, especially that McLaren, which does not like any damage at all. The Aston in the back, I just think Cooley's tyres are just not up to it to catch back up to these guys. I might be wrong, but we'll keep an eye on that gap, because that is one undamaged Aston. So
Still doing mid 45s. He's not slow.
45s, really.
The Aston is particularly consistent over a stint too, so while these guys will probably fluctuate in pace, especially now that they've got damage. But I think, yeah, the Lexus and the Bentley are probably going to drop off towards the end of the stint, whereas the Ferrari, the McLaren, really good at the start and then have a really bit of a trough in the middle, and then the pace comes back at the end for those mid-engine cars. But the Aston just so good at being really strong over the course. Not the fastest, but really strong all the way throughout stint. So Cooley will always be around. And as you said, Mel, now that there's a bit of damage in front, he'll be sniffing blood in the water. That's for sure.
Definitely. And of course, he is the brand ambassador. Oh,
What is that line, Lucas? You can't do that.
Might come with a you can't cut there, sir.
Yeah, probably got a little ticket for that one because it looked like he gained time. I don't know whether he actually left the track and would have got a bit. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Anyway, interesting.
He was lucky that sausage didn't send him to the moon, because those are nasty little sausages there. They if you hit them wrong, they will send you flying. But Chris Cooley's definitely starting to put some pressure on Ryan Houlihan here. I reckon he's got those tyres back where he wants them, and he's now just settling in to put some pressure on Mr. Houlihan in the McLaren. We'll see if he's he obviously made the recovery last week from the back of the grid after turn 1 all the way up to P5 in half an hour in Coda, which is an absolutely monster effort. So be interesting to see if he's as aggressive as that. We're watching Pete Viney and Rob Underwood come to blows at T1. And does Rob make a good rejoin? Not really.
I mean, it wasn't horrible. He rejoined reasonably safely. Didn't throw himself in the middle of the track, and I felt like the other car didn't give him a lot of room to come back onto the track. So it's all his fault. But Underwood just getting himself mixed into the business of a couple of other drivers now. So I just wanted to be clean, Underwood, because I love he's got a lot of pace in that Nissan. We demonstrated that last week too, but getting a quali ban inside the first week suggests that there's some racecraft issues there. A couple more there, a couple of little incidents with other drivers there as well. So I just want him to clean himself up, and if he does that, he'll be a very promising driver going forward. Will Underwood.
Absolutely, we've got some mess here. Sang has got some blue flag traffic to deal with. It'll give him a bit of a tow down the back straight, but Lucas Keys is also very, very close behind him. This will get very, very messy for Sang very quickly. He tries to break the tow. Doesn't give Lucas a chance to get a bit of a tow down the back straight with that blue flag traffic. He's going to force Lucas round the outside of turn 1 again. We saw how this ended last time. Lucas doesn't have the grip to hang it round there. And I think you're right, Muller. The McLaren's damage has meant he can't really hang with these two guys. He's kind of fighting to hang on rather than putting any pressure on these two.
Yeah, just been watching that gap, and it looks like he closes up here, Houlihan, but just that McLaren, once the front goes on it, it turns into a different car. It really does. But this is coming through some more lack traffic, so again, this is going to be something to keep an eye on. Who can handle the blue flags better as Cricky gets right out of the way. Nicely done as they come through this tricky little chicane section. Again, another part of the track where you don't want to take any sausage at all. That can really unsettle the car. Sang flings it through there. Keep an eye on this though, because Lucas Keys will be keen as mustard to try and nail sector 3 and get another run down the straight, because we've seen Sang, ooh, that might be another ticket.
Testing the limits. He's trying. You've got to give him credit for trying at the moment.
Oh, 100%.
As that blue flag Ferrari gets out of the way, Chris Cooley has to go a bit wide around the 4th last corner.
Oh.
Everyone goes deep. Lucas Keys just decided that last part of the chicane is not worth taking. And I think he'll...
Surely that one was a ticket.
He'll give Chris Sang the benefit of the doubt for this straight, I reckon, and let him go.
Houlihan took the sausage as well, so that sort of compromised his run down the straight. He is not close enough as of yet.
I'm the steward. I'm looking at Lucas doing that and going, do you know what? You probably should be actually taking the track there and sort of suffering the pain. And giving him a little bit of a warning, because he's definitely taking get out of jail free card. We've got a yellow flag at turn 1. That's car 293 around. Looks like he's done it all by himself, but we'll there might be a replay to show us what's happened there. But we'll still follow this 4-car battle for lead. JP Sonicus still 2.7 seconds ahead, just managing his pace, not having to worry about pushing or anything. We'll grab a replay now.
And sideways. Oh,
There's a
John,
blue flag too, John.
buy yourself a lottery ticket.
Every millisecond of that old man's reflexes were engaged with that one.
Old man, Jesus, cop that.
Yeah, I know, wow, drive by.
He calls himself old, so I'll call him old.
He's been Floyd, and he is thoroughly giving the young man a examination. 2 Mustangs going at it, so this will cancel each other out as well.
Both some pretty cool liveries, I reckon. The orange and the blue really standing out. John taking the chicane pretty narrow. Gets his exit pretty well right though, so Ben Floyd's going to have to find some kind of walk drive to get past that Mustang down this straight.
That livery is 100% a throwback to the Golf livery of the GT40s. Back to this absolutely fascinating battle between Lucas Keys and Chris Sang. Really intrigued with this one because both cars are carrying a bit of a damage, but they're just Sang's defensive driving has just been exemplary. Just knows where to place that Ferrari, and he's making it pretty much impossible for Lucas to get past. And you got Houlihan and Cooley just sitting there waiting, biding their time, hoping maybe a little error or something is going to give. But at the moment, Sang is doing a magnificent job, to be fair.
Yep, it's certainly an effort to keep something like the Lexus behind. But you've got to say, I reckon Lucas is a bit closer behind Chris than he has been the past couple of laps. So if you can maintain this as Mitch Bendyke gets out of the way of JP Sonicus, if you can maintain as he goes very, very deep, That'll give Houlihan a look into the hairpin. Keeps the position, but that's giving Chris Sang a bit of a break. So if he can get the chicane right, he's got another get out of jail free card for another lap.
Let's see how Lucas and the sausage get along this lap. He's going to make it. That's better. There we go.
Oh, he actually took the whole track then. Nice work. Back to a replay.
Grab that replay again.
This hopefully is a move and nothing that we hold our breath for. Ooh, that.
Yep, just a Porsche getting a job done on the Lambo down the straight. But look at that. Nice one, Tarks. Up at a P13.
Got a lovely 15-second gap on Brad Palmer ahead though. So that was for P2 in the Pro-Am States. Rob Underwood has copped a stop-go 10. You'd have to think that was for the turn 1 and 2 stuff beforehand. So
This for an unsafe rejoin on lap 50.
it's a big old stick.
Yep, we don't do rejoins very kindly here at the best of times, but obviously we know the stewards have got their big stick out this week, so what might have normally been a drive-through for a rejoin has just been upgraded slightly to a stop-go 10, but yeah, make sure you get your rejoins right, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think all the splits last week got a bit of a talking to from the headmasters. And yes, big sticks, very much so. This battle
Shady Samuel will be happy about that too, because that's one less car he has to pass on track. And we're starting to get some pit stops at the back of the field too. Robert Herbert and Wiegand at the back also coming in for their mandatory service. Lucas Keys right on the back of the Ferrari here.
And you know, that Ferrari just gets such a good drive out of there.
Ryan Houlihan's also got a very good run into there as well, just quietly. So we'll see what sort of gut Alexis got down the straight. I think he's got Ryan covered. Whether Sang has to worry about him as well. He does. He goes defensive. We'll see if Lucas can hang it around the outside or if he decides to let Sang go a little bit. Sang just defends absolutely perfectly once again. You'd almost think he does this for a living. He's absolutely done that perfectly.
There's no way that Lexus is hanging around the outside with its 1950s downforce. No chance in hell.
1920s diff.
Yep. This is, wow, just weird. That's closed right up. Cooley's just decided, right, I'm going to get involved in this. Ooh, this is not hold your breath stuff, but it is getting to that point.
What I'm thinking of is that obviously there's a fair bit of field spread now. If I'm one of these four, obviously the strap has been for the past three races. Do your stop as late as you can. If I'm Chris Cooley, and I can see that pit straight's got a pretty massive little gap on it, do I just give it a go and see if I can just undercut these guys while they battle?
Look, I think that's a great shout, because if he can sort of look on his track map and just get a bit of an idea of where he's going to pop out, yeah, come in, get some clean air, pop in some qualifiers, and see if you can undercut these 3 or 4 drivers and see if you can do it. May as well have a crack. As the old saying goes, you don't know unless you try. Because I just don't think he's going to get past.
Yeah, but you also don't fail if you don't try.
Look, that's a good point as well.
That's what makes applications such as ACC Drive, well and truly worth their weight in gold, is that there's a pit marker that sort of comes up on the track map and shows you exactly where you would come out after your pit stop. So if, as I said, there's some drivers out there who'll be running ACC Drive and they'll be able to tell exactly what kind of gap they would land in. That'd be super handy for Cooley right now, because as you said, I reckon he's actually being held up by these guys now. And as much as we want to see on-track battling, I want to see Cooley do well as well. So, as you said, big gamble, big risk. If he gets stuck in any sort of traffic, then that undercut becomes a...
Oh!
He's managed to keep it going straight, Hooley, but now he's got front-end damage and rear-end damage. Well, we saw the same thing, didn't we? Just got a little tap there from the Aston of Cooley.
Yep.
I think so.
Houlihan held on to it as well. So again, that could normally ends in a spin. So Houlihan's done a great job there, but that McLaren now will be not horrible. Here we go. We've got a replay here. Oh,
Hawley's gone into the back of Lucas, and then Hewley's sort of followed him in.
Wow. Didn't
more
see
to
the
that
first
story.
one. There you go. So,
Oh, well, 4 damage
Wow.
cars now.
everyone's got equal
It's
damage.
equal again.
No, it's definitely worse for the McLaren. I gave you the tip. The front end damage on the McLaren's not great, but the rear end's really not nice either once that diffuser gets a bit of a touch. So that aero will be all sorts of whack job now for that McLaren. I wonder how turn 3 is going to go for him.
That's
I
also
think Chris
some-
Thang's got a get out of jail free card this lap. Hawley goes for a little bit of clean air. But even, just look at that Lexus just reel that Ferrari and down the straight, even if he's not completely in the toe. That's silly.
Yes, it is quite ridiculous. Ooh, Sang just ran it a little wide there. And then brings it back in though. 3 totally different lines. Yep, they all work, no problem. And using the whole track and some. Again, 3 different lines.
Despite all this battling, it's surprising that they're still keeping pace with JP Sonic, because you'd have to think that JP is just rumbling along and just maintaining his tyres, but I'd be very curious to know if he's actually going flat out and these guys are keeping up despite the battle, or if he actually is just sort of driving about 98% well and truly within himself and just managing his tyres through for the last 18 minutes of this race.
You get the feeling JP's just got a delta in mind, a lap time in mind, and he's just tick, 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 just ticking over. Because that gap, it has just every sort of 2 or 3 laps, it just grows. It's now out to 3.2, so just managing this race absolutely beautifully, mate. How good's this battle's been fantastic. Oh, Houlihan! Wow, that was. I don't think he can go any deeper than that.
No, not without turning that Lexus into a Toyota Yaris and just inverting that rear end. It's just keeping an eye on Shady Samuel as well, who's up to P14, less than 3/10 behind Pete Viney. So watch Houlihan get right up close personal with the back of that Lexus. You won't want to do that too often. Definitely not the fastest way through the chicane. But that gap to JP just came down a little bit as well. So bit of pace managing going on between these 4. I think Chris Keeley's decided, I can't deal with being this close. I'm just going to drop back a little bit and do my own thing. So we're back to a 3-car battle for P2. Chris Sang still holding off Lucas Keys. Chris Sang obviously in his first entry into this split red season.
Ambient temp 33, track temp 43. Yep. Not what you call optimal racing conditions, but these 3 out of 4 drivers have just proven that you can race in anything. The gap's just gone out again to 3 point. Yeah, JP's 100% managing it. Oh, Houlihan, he has a big look, massive look on Lucas. Can he get this done?
Always
This is
good drive.
a
Get up.
great drive. Lucas, he just tries to run the inside. Houlihan around the outside. He's got it done.
Nice work, Hawley. That's a good move. Tell you what, it wasn't over until it was over, but yeah, they just got that Lexus hooked up on that inside curb. And once you get up there, it can be not can be. It almost always is very slippery up on that curb. So
Ryan went deep in the chicane though, so he's going to be well and truly in trouble now. There's not a lot that can stop a Lexus this close in a tow. He goes defensive very early.
Cheat mode activated.
Warp drive activated, whatever you like. That Lexus just walks past the McLaren and Houlihan just has to let him go through because there's not a lot he can do. It's a bit unfair, isn't it? You pull up an absolutely superb move like that and just get absolutely rinsed.
as you said, he did it to himself, and probably a little bit of the damage doing it to him too, but he didn't quite get the chicane right, which just invited Lucas to get him back. As you said, just walked past him there on the straight.
Such an opportunistic move as well. come from nowhere. Oh, yep, that's some opposite lock. But, mate, it'll give Houlihan just a bit of an idea, though, where he is strong, where he can actually maybe have another look. Now, this is the point of the race now. If I'm Houlihan, I might actually think coming in. I think it's a good idea. You don't want to keep following around Lucas Keys here. Maybe get out of this battle, get in a bit early, and see what you can do. It's close up. It's the way. Yeah, it's back and forth.
14 minutes to go. This is definitely the thought where you've got enough time to sort of try and make a cheeky little undercut or an overcut work now. Chris saying really can't sort of get away from Lucas Keys, and Lucas has got a better exit there than the last couple laps we've seen. We'll see what sort of guts that Lexus got down the straight. The Ferrari very, very wide on the exit of the last corner, and on this look you have to say not quite enough. We'll see if Chris Sang has the need to defend, doesn't feel the need to defend. Lucas pokes his nose up the inside, doesn't spook Chris Sang off the apex though. Brilliant driving from both drivers to keep things going in a straight line, and Ryan Houlihan just not quite close enough to take any advantage of any little errors at that point.
They're definitely taking a lot more curb. I've noticed this. Things are getting a little willing now. I know it's 13 minutes to go, so it's time to get something done. Lucas Keys again just up to the back of Sang in certain parts of the track, but we've seen Sang, he's absolutely brilliant out of the final chicane in the final turn. So, looking at it out.
What's that McLaren again? What is that McLaren doing parked there?
You cannot park there, sir.
What is that McLaren
Lucas
doing?
Keys has a drive-through penalty.
Oh, we said that there was some tickets earlier on, and now they've come back to bite him. Imagine getting a drive-through. Who would do that?
Wow.
Unlucky.
Is it?
What is this? What are you doing?
Wow.
That is
Who is
Brad
that?
Gosling. Brad Gosling. No, it's not. Brad's in the McLaren. Sorry, Brad. Gosling sponsored McLaren.
Yeah, Gosling is in a Mercedes, I think is what you're trying to spit out there, and he's currently in P18. That was who is in that McLaren? We need to investigate that, because there's some serious talking to. They need to. It's been a couple of incidents so far that McLaren's been involved with. Looks like we're going to go.
Esteemed broadcast has gone hunting. Here we go.
We are looking. We are checking.
It's not Ryan Houlihan. That McLaren's been fine.
Yeah, he's a good boy. No longer in a replay. He's looking for the replay on the other monitor. He's going to go find it for us while we keep an eye on Hooley. But yeah, there you go. That's unfortunate for Lucas copping that drive-through with only 10 minutes to go. Put paid to his race, which is a shame because he was doing really well up here, putting all sorts of pressure on Sang. Now this gives Houlihan a little chance over the next 11 minutes. Can he get this beaten and wounded McLaren past the Ferrari of Sang? I tell you what, all of this drama has really opened up the door for Peach to just walk away with this race too. And that's nearly 4 seconds that gap. He's driven very nicely up there in that Bentley, controlled the pace, and even though he doesn't have the fastest lap, he's just driven an absolute perler of a race so far. It hasn't been on the camera all that much, which is a shame because that livery is top tier.
When you nail the start as he did, as we're still following John Sonicus, who has Ben Floyd all over the back of him. Those 3 Mustangs in a row. They're going to continue battling for the next 10 and a bit minutes. But yeah, so if you nail the start like JP did, all you got to do at that point is just make sure you do your laps and get them all absolutely spot on. And he has continued to do that. That gap to Chris Sang, just slowly walking past. Carl Johnson in P11 gets a 10-second penalty for, you'd have to think, a collision at some point. So that will release Dave Bartlett and give him a little bit of a rest, but that'll bring in your Pete Chalmers, your Mike Reel, having a look for that silver Pro-Am sort of podium positions.
Just checking that onboard there as well. You can see that bonnet flapping, so that's normally a sign that there is damage, and it could be not significant, but enough. But he's catching up the back of Sang here again, so Sang must have a bit of damage on that Ferrari, I'm convinced. There's a bit on that, plus rear tyre wear as well. But his Houlihan's come alive. Cooley's just sitting there, waiting for something.
I think if you're saying at this point, I think he's sort of worked out that Pete is a little bit out of reach now. At this point now, all he's got to do is just make sure that this is a hard track to pass on. I'm going to hit my marks in the last chicane, and what will happen as we watch Hooley make up a ton of time under braking for the turn 10 hairpin. And if he can keep this gap, whatever it is, out of the last chicane, we'll see if Chris Sang feels the need to defend from the McLaren as he did for the Lexus, as Mike Reel comes into pits from P3 in the silver class.
Ferrari versus McLaren. It's like Formula One, except the Ferrari's in front. So again, Sang just so good out of that chicane final turn. Just gives no options.
Hooley doesn't even make a dent in him down the whole straight. That must be so depressing as the following driver.
As a Porsche driver, yes, it is depressing.
You've got overpowered braking and exits out of corners, though. You've got
There
your
we
strengths.
go.
Get back in your box.
Let's not talk about map 2 though.
No, that's absolutely. Let's not talk about the OP fuel strat, and then also let's not talk about the fact that a lot of the tracks in ACC don't even have straights where the Porsche is weak because they don't even get past 5th gear. So just get back in your box a little bit. Never mind the fact you've got the best looking car.
And best sounding as well.
Nah, that's
best
factually
sounding.
incorrect. I actually liked the old Porsche sound better than this new one. This new one sounds a little bit vacuum cleanerish to me.
Just put it in 6th gear at the start of a straight. It sounds like a jet engine taking off. It's awesome.
And then there's the Porsche Cup car, which is genuinely like one of the best sounding cars in the game. Oh my god, I fucking love the sound of that car.
Best sounding car, period. Cup car. Amazing.
Best driving car too. Proper
Oh, 100%. Here we go though, Houlihan back. It's a little bit closer this time. But again, Sang, watch this. So Houlihan turns in. That's perfect. Houlihan's lovely, but Sang just goes, not happy.
Yeah, Ferrari is so well balanced. Hooley just put together a really good lap. He hit every apex, and especially in the aero watch of the Ferrari too, it probably would have been a little bit more difficult, even with the damage. He's absolutely nailed that lap and didn't get anywhere near a look of Sang. So as you said, as long as Sang continues to hit his marks and put this in all the right places, and as long as there's no blue flags like Pete Viney who give him any sort of trouble, Tark's is a good boy, he gets right out of the way, but there is more blue flags to negotiate over the next 6.5 minutes. That's about the only thing I can see getting in the way of Sang and P2 here, as he's driving beautifully in that well-balanced Ferrari.
Hooley's definitely found a couple of metres on him this sector though, you'd have to say, and he's poked the nose in, sort of staying off the apex there. We're going to have an exit battle here coming out of turn 5. It's not going to sort of come to anything though, because turn 6 and 7 is virtually never an overtaking opportunity.
Ooh.
Both go pretty wide. You wonder if there's a speed ticket there for both of them. And we now sort of go through that point of the track where all you got to do, Hooley's got a much better exit at turn 9 here. Can he send it up the inside of the hairpin? Not yet. So we'll see how both these cars go about setting up this final sector for their next run down the straight. We've got 5.5 minutes to go. Still plenty of pit stop. And we've got plenty to still resolve going forward.
Just checking on Shady Sang, the watch, she is up to 11th. Oh, Houlihan, super deep there. Houlihan's in. First to blink. So Sang now, this is crucial. He's got to absolutely nail this lap.
I thought this was going to be a procession to the end. I forgot that there was pit stops. There's still 10 pit stops to do up the top. I completely forgot that they still had a pit stop to do. So I said that there might be a blue flag or something. Otherwise, we're just going to walk towards the end, nice and easy peasy. There's still pit stops to stuff up. That's a common thing. People stuffing up pit stops, isn't it? Everyone does that, right?
Everyone.
Yep,
It's
yeah,
not
right.
something that we focus on for particular people in any way, shape, or form. Deserve it or not.
Oh,
But,
very deserved.
Floyd and Sweet also both come in as well to the pit lane, so these last pit stops are going to come thick and fast. Houlihan's back out onto the track now. At this point now, it all comes down to how well do you get the pit entry? How well do you get your stop in the box? How well do you get your car turned back on? Nail all those, and everything else is in the hands of the gods. They're the things you can control. So Chris Sang wags the tail of that Ferrari out of camps up, and Chris Cooley has just walked onto the back of that Ferrari. So he's been a bit of a bottleneck, has Chris Sang, this race, but you can kind of do that at this track.
Yes, we've seen it in GTs, we've seen it in Formula 1, we've seen it in other forms of racing. This track is so hard to pass on. But of course, Houlihan's got to nail this. It was our leader pops into the pit lane.
Jesus, that was an aggressive entry, Peach. Goodness gracious.
You'll love to see it.
Far out. I thought he was going to put it in the wall. He had that Bentley bouncing the whole way up to the 50 board. Christ.
So,
Oh.
yeah, I'm still that entry is still up to wow. It's one
I
way.
thought he was lagging. He was bouncing around that much. Christ, he went in hard.
Min-max dampers.
We were talking earlier about Shady and how he performed this very same strat at Indianapolis last season where he pitted early. And it looks like it's done pretty well for him again here now too, with a couple more to pit. Where is he going to come out? He's behind Sweet at the moment. Sweet and Floyd were up there in the top 5, so don't worry about that. He's got up to the 50 board. He got on the anchors fine by the time he got to the 50 board, but it was the entry for me. Like, he completely ignored the pit lane, cut over the grass, got some curb. I thought he was going to put it in the wall.
You were talking about Shady before. He's gotten past Corey Sweet. So those two are right next to each other on track. So at this point, Jesus Christ, that's a good entry.
Yes, Peach. Absolutely sent it. And he didn't need to either. He has like 4.5 seconds in the bag. All he needed to do was get it right. He didn't need to push to. Oh,
That's just for the walkthrough.
Absolutely.
That is how you do it. Don't do it any more than that. That is how you do it. And there's a blue flag causing a little bit of grief here. He's gonna. Oh no!
Wow.
This will
Oh
close.
dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, I like the idea. The idea was always there because he knew that the blue flag would not quite get the pit entry as well as Peach did anyway. So he knew that there would be a position to gain. If he got that right, he could easily overtake. But he just didn't get on the anchors quick enough, and that's going to be a stop-go 30 at least. Killing someone in the pit lane is a fucking massive no-no. Oh no,
What it has done is held up both of those guys, both Sang and Cooley. So if Houlihan's done a good outlap,
I think so.
this will be very close.
This is going to be
This will be
extremely
very close. Uh-oh.
Oh wow. Houlihan goes, thank you very much. Yes. Job done.
Yes, Dooley Dooley. Welcome back to the Sprint Series, big fella, and a damaged McLaren hanging it around the outside of turn 1. That's a massive effort. Great work. Hung on to
Cooley's
it.
got himself a stop-go 30 for speeding in pit lane, I think.
Look at the, here we go. What's
Oh, no, I reckon
Yeah,
Stewart's
yeah.
gone straight away. Go away.
Yeah, either or. Stop go 30 was always going to be there. That's big sad. As I said, the idea was right. The execution, not quite optimal. Unlucky.
But this is the last lap. Hooley's gone very deep there into that chicane. That'll give Sang a sniff into Campsite. He's going to go very defensive. We'll see if Chris can hold it around the outside. Chris Keeley's gone, bugger the fact I've got a penalty. I'm going to still get involved in this. This is fun. Hooley goes defensive on the way down to turn 10. Sang has a look down the inside. We'll see if they can make the corner. Everyone's gone deep.
That's good defensive driving from Hooley. He got turn 9 wrong. He got turn 7 wrong. He really compromised his line up through those corners and had to defend hard down into the hairpin, but he chose his line early. And yes, he went a little bit deep, but managed to bring it back on track and just hung on.
I think I saw 555. John Sonicus was a yellow flag at the hairpin as well. JP comes across to win. Houlihan P2, Chris Sang P3, Chris Cooley on the road P4. Who knows where the hell he's going to end up with that 60-second penalty. That'll be way down the field. John Sonicus leads across this absolute gaggle of Mustangs that's come across the end of the race. This is fantastic. He's going to take net P4.
That's a herd, isn't it? What's a herd of horses? No, it's a herd? I'm going with a herd.
A fucking lot of horses.
That's
All separated by less than a second at the end of the race. John Sonicus with the defensive masterclass. And Shady Samuel's come across P6 after his early pit stop. So that's worked out pretty well for him. Brad Palmer is going to take the silver class victory. Ramez Samuel taking the Pro-Am victory ahead of that though. So that is a mighty effort from Ramez in the 223 Mercedes. We'll see what's happened at the hairpin here. John's gone a bit deep and he's got a little bit of a poke. And I think
Redress?
the redress is going to happen very, very good.
We love that.
Look at Shady. Yep, thank you. I'll be taking some of that action.
Very good. Pete Viney follows Carl Johnson across the line for P16. Mike Reel just behind as well in P17. Zach Graham, P18. Pete Chalmers a bit further behind, P19. And Mitch Bendyke in the Abomination, P20. And the last running driver will be Michael Crick. Comes across the line for P21. That was exciting towards the end, guys. That was the best. That was awesome.
Split Red delivers every week. What a split. Such a high quality set of drivers up in that top 10. And then back through the midfield, you've got plenty of good stuff happening too. But that top 10 makes me happy every single week. And Page just seems to come out on top of that top 10 every single week. He's just such a solid, consistent driver. And it looks like he's going to be well and truly the favourite again going into the latter half of this season in Split Red. So looking really good up there in that Continental Bentley or whatever he's driving. It is P1 tonight in front of Houlihan on return. That's a very solid effort. What looked like was probably going to be 4th or 5th. He's managed to pinch his way up into P2 and Sang with the fastest lap. Might feel a little bit savaged there in the pit lane, but he's going to be P3. Palmer in silver. Nice work in the Porsche. Mike Reel and Bendyke at 2 and 3. Ramez Samuel is the #1 Pro-Am tonight with Scott Rockford and Malith Adanyake in P3. And then in the AM class, Underwood, I would suggest, is probably a little bit faster than AM, but his racecraft sees him at the top of the AM class tonight. Brickley, P2, and forgive me, P3. I think I missed you. It might have been Gosling in the Mercedes. That is Barcelona done dusted, ladies and gentlemen.
Certainly is. Fantastic race. Split Red once again does not fail. And of course, North America coming up tomorrow or in the morning. So if you're up like me and watching the Olympics all night like I've been doing, you can catch the North American split as well. And guess where we're off to next? Suzuka. Fantastic track. Probably the best track on the calendar.
Very, very excited for that. It's possibly, literally never happens, going to be wet.
Oh, wet. You're calling wet? Okay.
There's a chance.
Variable, isn't it?
It's variable, so there's a chance. And this is Split Red, so it's going to be wet.
It's a 75-minute race.
I'm here for it.
No man.
This is very, very exciting.
Suzuka in the wet is an extremely attractive track.
Yes. So that's it, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, JC. Thank you, Tom. It's been a pleasure as always. Hope everyone enjoys their evening. Go the Aussies in the Olympics, and Essendon can go get stuffed.
Yep, fair enough. Good night, all. Good night, chat. Good night, Split Red.
Night,
Nice
everyone.
work.